miss this limited time opportunity for the lowest payments ever on fine jewelry. On approved credit, details at diamondsdirect.com.
Olive and 270 at City Place.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
The Marc Cox Show.
I want to compliment your show on how fair and level-headed everything you guys talk about.
Who is this guy? He's saying what we've been saying forever.
Maybe what we need from a conservative standpoint is
The Marc Cox Show.
I respect that. We don't agree.
Listen to both sides.
This
let's get it on.
is the Marc Cox Show.
Well, I'm concerned for Brett. I just think this is a travesty. But, you know, in all of the years that I've known him, like I said, over 35 years, he has been nothing but honest and trustworthy and respectful. And I know he'll continue to be that way.
Maureen, final word?
I mean, I'm concerned that this is even happening at this stage in his hearing after, you know, he went through so much. But he is smart and he's telling the truth, and I think in the end it'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, just ignore that.
Yeah. Welcome into the Marc Cox Morning Show. I love the fact that people who've known Brett Kavanaugh for 35 or 40 years, people who've known him since high school, who hung out with him, who admitted that they had a few beers with him here and there, who've known the man since this incident would have allegedly happened, describe him as a fine, upstanding individual who they could never imagine doing something like this. But just ignore all that, please. Just ignore all of the evidence and the multiple FBI investigations and all of that. Please just ignore all of that because, of course, the most credible person out of all of this is Chuck Schumer.
I think the allegations of Professor Ford are extremely credible.
Yeah.
She took a lie detector test. She talked to her therapist. They were having family counseling in part because of what happened to her 5 years ago and told all the details. And third, to come out and say something like this puts you and your family through incredible scrutiny. Yes. People throw brickbats at you and everything else.
Unbelievable. Just what we saw yesterday is it's embarrassing, and it's only going to get worse because now Republican leadership has granted the sideshow to the Democrats on a silver platter for next Monday. And if you lived through the through the October 1991 incident with Clarence Thomas, if you remember that at all, and I'm going to play portions of it this morning, it will be 10 times worse. Because in 1991, we just really had the beginnings of the 24-hour news cycle. This is going to be unbelievably painful for an individual who's led nothing but a good life, to the point of volunteering at a food line for the homeless during weekends when he could be spending time with his family. That's who Brett Kavanaugh is. It just sickens me what I saw yesterday and what I know is coming next Monday. Just unbelievable. Thoughts? Opinions? I'm trying to get the audience here in the studio involved.
I think we'll see. I think it's interesting that they decided to move forward so quickly with a hearing
I think
on Monday.
they had to, though. I mean, don't you really think that yes, everyone pretty much has to say, look, let's let this be vetted. We need to have them speak, and then we'll go from there. Well, instead of automatically coming out saying, no way that he did it, we need to let this be vetted.
Yeah.
He's... if he said, well, I don't know, I went to a few parties, I don't remember that, it might have happened, yes, let's have a hearing. It's not what he's saying. What he said is, this never happened. This is fabricated. And to drag it out any further is outrageous.
Well, what I want to know from the woman is why now?
Yeah, I think it's a good question.
Well, that's really the only thing we need to know. Why? I mean, like, why are you doing? Why now? Mm-hmm. And someone should ask her that. And I want to know what the reason is. Because was she approached? I mean, I'm sure these judges, anyone there's people out there doing research, right? So did somebody call every single person that he went to high school with or college with until they finally got a little something?
And here's the thing about it is that Judge Brett Kavanaugh has not always been a high-profile individual in the United States.
Sure.
However, he was on a trajectory toward that. Mm-hmm. And 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whenever he was first appointed to the federal bench.
People were looking into him back then, for sure.
He's had multiple FBI investigations. Mm-hmm. He got appointed to the federal bench. There were hearings. His name was in the news. This lady's family knows the Kavanaughs because his mother oversaw a foreclosure judgment against them. It's not like this. She's never heard of him before.
Right.
So through all of that, if you were that concerned about somebody's judgment being on being a federal judge, why would you have not come out with this 5 years ago?
That's why I want to know. Why now?
Yeah.
And this is what I want to play for you this morning, because when I say that I expect a replay times 10 of the Anita Hill hearings, I want you to listen. Here's what people need to remember. I went back and listened to some of this last night, and it was disturbing. Anita Hill sat in front of a hearing it was televised on every TV station in America, and described graphic sexual innuendos that she claims Clarence Thomas said to her, insinuated, tried to pressure her into sex, talked about all sorts of things that would be inappropriate in any setting, except maybe with your significant other. And then when she was cross-examined, because they had an FBI investigation, they had the FBI investigate her claims, right? When they went back and looked at the FBI investigation, she never said any of that in the FBI investigation. So when they cross-examined her, Arlen Specter took a lot of heat for the way he cross-examined her, but he's like, you didn't mention any of these dramatic details when the FBI... And here's the other thing. Did Clarence Thomas ever ask you on a date? No. Did he ever ask you to have sex? No. She testified to all of this in this open hearing after all of these vivid details that she never happened to mention to the FBI when they questioned her. So this is what Clarence Thomas was finally allowed to come out and make a statement. And I think we're going to hear something very similar on Monday.
Senator, I would like to start by saying unequivocally, uncategorically, that I deny each and every single allegation against me today that suggested in any way that I had conversations of a sexual nature or about pornographic material with Anita Hill, that I ever attempted to date her, that I ever had any personal sexual interest in her, or that I in any way ever harassed her.
There you go. Unequivocally denied it. Just like Judge Kavanaugh has denied that this ever happened. It's a fabrication. Even convinced she must have him confused with somebody else. That's how far he was willing to go yesterday. Tell you what, let's get to a break. We'll get to our national anthem. We'll get to some news. And we'll get back here and get to your phone calls at 314-241-9797.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs burst our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
97.1 News Time, 5:18. It's 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri's U.S. senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Several lawsuits have been filed against the city of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 5:19.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic looks good at this hour. If you're just headed out, no serious delays. All quiet on the Poplar Street Bridge, where we have 2 lanes down westbound for construction. All quiet through North County, westbound 270, a good run. Really no delays yet, northbound 270 at 44. So far, so good this morning. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:19.
For a free estimate on high-quality Anderson replacement windows, visit WilkieWindow.com. We promise we won't camp out at your kitchen table until you sign. Visit our Anderson showrooms in Fenton and Shiloh or go to WilkieWindow.com. You'll be glad you did. That's WilkieWindow.com.
Imagine 5 or 10 years from now finding out that you could have had more money saved for retirement if you had simply taken the time to work toward ensuring your portfolio was tax efficient. That extra vacation you could have taken, or maybe even retiring earlier than you thought possible. We've all heard about the Trump tax changes, but do you know what it means for you? Call Heisey Advisory Group today at 314-909-1116 and register for our upcoming no-cost live tax class on September 27th at Umsel West County Center at 6 p.m. We can help show you how your taxes might be affected by the Trump tax change today and in retirement. Be diligent when planning. Work toward minimizing the effect Washington has on your retirement. Call now and get registered at 314-909-1116.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AEWM and Heisey Advisory Group are not affiliated companies.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills pay some of the highest prices for gold, diamonds, semi-precious stones, silver, coins, and currency. From jewelry, watches, antiques, and collectibles, the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Jewels on Hampton offers fantastic attentive service, as well as the best prices in the metro area. Looking for a new watch? Jewels on Hampton has an extensive collection of modern and vintage watches, carrying some of the top premier brands, even unique pocket watches. Jewels on Hampton features a full-service jewelry and watch repair department to restore your jewelry, watch, or heirloom to like-new condition. From cleaning to resetting. Got gold? Get paid at Jewels on Hampton at 4506 Hampton Avenue, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Learn more at jewelsonhampton.com or call 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton, a St. Louis hidden gem.
Listen to why Drew from Afton referred Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage to family members.
We first contacted Michael several years ago when we bought our house. Got a great rate, service was terrific and everything. And then just recently we refinanced. Michael was extremely knowledgeable, experienced, friendly, and accommodating, and just real easy to work with. We never felt like a number. We knew right away we were in good hands. And we did our research. We contacted several other companies, and Michael actually got us the best rate. He saved us a lot of money. In fact, we were so pleased that when our son, daughter, and our nephew were ready to buy their first homes, they all went to Michael as well. So Michael's sort of a member of the family.
Call Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage, 314-336-6050. That's 314-336-6050. Or at CommunityMortgageSTL.com. Community Mortgage, LLC. NMLS 224143 and 250353.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
Judge Kavanaugh is
sexually assaulting her more than
denying that this ever took place.
The truth should come out now.
She should testify under oath. Judge Kavanaugh should also testify.
Thursday, the committee vote on Kavanaugh.
I smell something and it reeks.
Stay connected.
And the flooding is far from over.
Swift water rescues
as the rivers rise.
FM News Talk 97.1.
Catastrophic flooding for some time.
Younger, smarter.
Donald Trump said he was going to drain the swamp. The only one draining the swamp right now is Bob Mueller.
Better.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. The way you shake that thing gonna make you burn, gonna make you stay.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I have to tell you, after all the vetting that Judge Kavanaugh has been through, to be a judge, a federal judge, and then the fact that this letter is something that Senator Feinstein has had since July, I think that this is a delay tactic, and I think that Senator Grassley should proceed with the vote.
Amen. Marcia Blackburn. Thank God somebody on the national scene's got the guts to stand up and say it. Boy. Megyn Kelly is coming back from the dark side. Listen to cut number 10.
If you're going to argue it on his side, right? You could say he was ascending in the halls of power. He was getting on the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. She's sitting there. Maybe she had a negative experience with him. Maybe he blew her off. This is what defenders would say, right? She's been harbored. She's had an axe to grind about him, and she lays the foundation as a Democrat donor, saying, "I don't want this. I'm just going with the most dramatic theory in defense of him."
Maybe he blew her off. Maybe she had an axe to grind.
You never know.
So many things floating around out there about her. I don't even want to focus on her. I believe that she was possibly money changed hands to get her to bring this forward at the very last dramatic moment. It had to be something like that because boxers known about it for so long. It's ludicrous. Chris Coons, I'm officially a no before Kavanaugh even has the hearing Monday. Well, they were just looking for an excuse. What does this give every Democrat, including Claire Bear McCaskill? It gives them the excuse they needed to vote no. This is to encourage every single Democrat to have an excuse to vote no. And all they have to do is lure one weak-kneed, spineless Republican like Jeff Flake or Susan Collins or somebody like that into a no vote. And then we're in a pinch. That's what this is about. It's about pressuring them. Fortunately, Collins' statement yesterday led me to believe that she's still on board with Kavanaugh, and she had a long conversation with him, and he's vehemently denied this in her own words. Hopefully this is still on. Maybe Trish is on to something. Maybe the Republicans have smartly gotten out front of this, scheduled the hearing, given the Democrats just what they wanted, and we'll see what happens. Let me get to a couple of phone calls. Jay, you're on the radio. Go ahead.
Hey, Mark, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks for the national anthem. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And I just wanted to say that this doesn't seem like it's about Brett Kavanaugh. This seems more like it's about if you're aligned with Donald Trump or you're aligned with conservatism, we don't want you in the government. We want you out. We want to control. That's what I think the Democrats feel. They want to control who gets into the White House and probably everywhere.
I saw, Jay, when I was doing some show prep last night or this morning, I saw an ad that when, you've got this clickbait, you click on an interview, and before you can watch it, you have to watch some stupid ad, and you can't get out of it. There's some national group running an ad right now claiming that Brett Kavanaugh was picked by Donald Trump for the sole reason that when he gets on the Supreme Court, he'll throw out Obamacare and rob millions of Americans of their health care. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, some of the things they're saying about him. So you're absolutely right. I think this is an attack on Trump because Trump picked this guy, ultimately. Phil, go ahead.
Yeah, Mark, thanks for taking my call. Morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
If you think any different that this is nothing but a Democrat hit job, you're lying and fooling yourself. Chuck Schumer's the one that came out and said he'll do anything to stop this nomination. And what does old Chucky do? But go on to The View yesterday, where he knows he has an audience that's not going to say anything different than the venom that he spews out. So, it's a Democrat hit job. Anybody with half a brain can see that.
No.
So what now, anyhow? Anytime somebody accuses you, so anything you do in this life, I can go run out and accuse you of sexual assault, and that ends everything that you're going to do in your life.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Phil, thank you for the call. I agree. I think you're right. Here's the other thing. Schumer, he doesn't just want a hearing on Monday. He wants a full FBI investigation, which would take weeks. But the problem for them is the FBI took the information and said, there's really nothing for us to do here. There's nothing criminal. Any statute of limitations would have expired many years ago. What do you want to waste our time for? Would have been the answer there. Wow. And here we are talking about this morning on the morning after the president announced that he's going to release a lot of the text messages and emails between James Comey and Peter Strzok and Andrew McCabe, and we're going to start to get to the bottom of the rot that was in these FISA warrants that started the whole Russian collusion hoax. When we come back, I want you to hear my conversation with Jonah Goldberg, nationally syndicated columnist, and what he thinks about these Kavanaugh allegations. We'll be back.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
From the Fox Business Network, the merger of health insurance companies Cigna and prescription plan company Express Scripts has been cleared by the Justice Department. The two companies believe together they can expand healthcare options and control costs. Cigna and Express Scripts have also received clearance from departments of insurance in 16 states. FedEx reported a mixed quarter. The shipping company made more money than a year ago, but Wall Street was expecting even more. FedEx says it was helped by solid execution of its business plan and the strong economy. Trade concerns weighed on stocks on Monday. The Nasdaq dropped with the biggest one-day loss since July. The Dow was down 92 points, the Nasdaq dropped 114 points, and the S&P was down 16. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Dr. Bob Arnott for Salonpas.
I'm training for the world's most grueling paddleboard race. 32 miles of open ocean, high winds and surf. Naturally, I get a lot of muscle pain. 50 years in medicine has taught me what to look for in a pain reliever. Powerful, targeted, non-addictive, and available without a prescription. I found it in Salonpas Lidocaine Plus. It has two powerful anesthetics that numb nerves right where it hurts. Salonpas gives me relief.
Fox Business, brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store, your dealer for Marvin Windows and Doors in the St. Louis region. FisherWindow.com. Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic looks good at this hour. If you're just headed out, no serious delays. Pretty quiet right now on the Poplar Street Bridge. Northbound 270 looking good at 44. No delays through North County on westbound 270. Things are also looking good for eastbound 70 drivers headed into downtown. Just the beginnings of some volume now, northbound 270, as you head on up toward Big Bend. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:32.
Watch the Mark Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
According to the Dementia Society of America, it's believed that more than 9 million Americans live with some form of dementia. In addition, every 68 seconds, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. If you have a parent or loved one who is showing signs of dementia, don't miss our upcoming workshop, The 7 Critical Actions to Take in a Case of Dementia. Presented by Kevin Jameson, founder of the Dementia Society of America, and Don Quante, author of the best-selling book, Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. At this workshop, you'll learn what dementia is and how to tell if your loved one may have it. Learn the early signs and stages of dementia, what financial and legal concerns should be addressed today, and how paying for dementia care can wipe out your savings and what to do about it. For reservations, call 800-924-8910. That's 800-924-8910. The number again, 800-924-8910.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a Banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
If you have retirement questions, you can bet Marvin Mitchell probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1 for Rethinking Retirement. With his years of experience, Marvin can help take the guesswork out of your retirement planning. Rethinking Retirement is your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Don't miss Rethinking Retirement with Marvin Mitchell every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1.
Dave Glover.
Happy last day of television for Dave Murray.
Yes.
Who was the absolute best you ever worked with?
Outside of this room.
Outside of this room, yeah.
Dave Glover. Weekdays at 3 on FM News Talk. 97.1. Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I like pleasure spiked with pain, and music is my aeroplane. It's my aeroplane.
Let me get to my guest. Proud to have a nationally syndicated columnist Jonah Goldberg with us right now at Jonah NRO for the National Review there. Jonah, how are you?
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being on this morning. I know you're going to appear in an event for September 18th at the Washington University School of Law, and you're going to be appearing out there while you're in town, correct?
That is right, and I promise to keep all the nudity tasteful and integral to the plot.
That's good. I know the Show Me Institute is one of the ones that are helping promote that incident, or the thing for tonight. So
the aptly named Show Me Institute.
Exactly. Anyway. Well, that's true. That's true. So what do you think of this sideshow in Washington? I mean, I'm interested to get your take on it.
Oh, well, I don't think it's a sideshow. I think it's the center ring for the next few days, and it's a hot mess. I think, part of the problem, I basically agree with you. I like Jeff Flake, but I don't know that he covered himself in glory with this. But there's a stampede now. I mean, Lindsey Graham has said that they got to hear from him. Part of the problem there are problems as far as the eye can see. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting some hypocrite or some, problem here. I think the only person who, no matter how this ends up playing out, no matter who ends up telling the truth, if we could ever figure that out, the one truly bad actor here is Dianne Feinstein, because she had this, she did nothing with it, and then she drops it at the 11th hour and 59th minute and pretends that her hands were tied and that she had no choice but to do it, and it stinks to high heaven. If the woman is telling the truth, it stinks because that means she didn't take her seriously, and if the woman's not telling the truth, then it's one of the ugliest smear jobs that we've seen in modern American politics. But part of the problem here now is that, look, there are no men on there are no Republican men, there are no women on the Judiciary Committee on the Republican side. The midterms, the Republicans' biggest vulnerability comes from moderate, independent, Republican-leaning women in suburbs. And the optics of the all-male senators grilling this accuser are just terrible. And that's one of the reasons why the Republicans are freaking out, is that it's forget issues of justice, forget issues of due process. Just politically, this could not come at a worse time.
No, maybe not. And I think that's why Dianne Feinstein kept this in her back pocket until now. It was a Hail Mary. When she reached the point where nothing else worked, she pulled this out, which is kind of sad. You're right. I mean, she knew about this for a long time and didn't. She knew what the fallout was. She knew what the complaints were going to be against her, and she sees an opportunity. I think, Jonah, that the Democrats could retake the Senate, which I saw some headlines to that effect near the end of last week, that there was some concern that there were some races going not the way Republicans thought they would, and the possibility existed that the Democrats could take back the Senate. That's when this came out.
I think there's a 1 in 4, 1 in 3 chance the Republicans lose the Senate, which would be disastrous for the Republicans.
Yeah, obviously it would completely stop whatever Trump has done here. I guess my question is, how far back do you go? I mean, if he had tripped this girl on the playground in elementary school, would we still have a reason to bring her before the Senate Judiciary Committee to testify? Is there no line in the sand as to how old an allegation has to be that you're going to try to bring it up and trip somebody up?
Oh, it depends if the allegation's against a Republican or a Democrat. I think, look, I under normal circumstances, I hate Supreme Court nomination fights because there's so much hypocrisy on both sides. The rules that one side touts are sacrosanct, all of a sudden become irrelevant when the gavel changes hands. All of that kind of stuff has been going on for a very long time. I agree with you. There's a real problem figuring out how to think about what an alleged 17-year-old boy's, misbehavior, which could run the gamut from what everyone on the left assumes is absolutely true, which is attempted rape, could run the gamut to just a doofus boy being stupid and nothing happening of it. And where you place that, and with a guy who's clearly gotten his life together, clearly made significant contributions to society, there is no record of other behavior like this. And so, you want to just give in to the whataboutism and say, well, wait a second, what about Bill Clinton? What about Ted Kennedy? What about all these guys? And that's the problem with this, is that there's almost no way. That's what Dianne Feinstein's gambit here is so infuriating. She wants the FBI to investigate. Investigate what?
Yes.
I mean, what are the forensics on a scene from 35 years ago in a house that may not even exist?
Thank you. Thank you. With a candidate who denies that it ever happened, but both other people involved denied that it ever happened. So, or accused of being involved, I should say. We're talking to Jonah Goldberg, a nationally syndicated columnist. He's going to be appearing at Washington University School of Law tomorrow night at an event sponsored by the Show Me Institute. Still time for you to show up for that. It's going to be at 5 p.m. is the reception, 5:30 is the presentation. Now, Jonah, you got a new book that you've got out called The Suicide of the West. Tell us more about it.
Sure. The basic argument I'm trying to make in the book is that we don't appreciate how good we have it. For 250,000 years, the average human being everywhere in the world made less than $3 a day. And then once and only once in all of human history did that change. And it only really started in one place at one time, basically in England about 300 years ago. And that improvement for the common person, that alleviation of poverty, the extension of life expectancy and of good health and all of these things, they are created by liberal democratic capitalism. And democracy and the whole suite, what I call the miracle. And we don't teach people to be grateful for that anymore. No. We don't teach people to appreciate it. Instead, as a society, as a culture, we teach people to be the opposite of grateful, which is ingratitude or entitlement or resentment. And we are taught that the history of this country is just one crime after another. And the problem is that this has only been the span of 6 lifetimes that we've been delivered out of the muck of man's natural condition, which is poverty. And it's very easy to go back. Because if these rules require all of us, these ideas, this revolution in ideas that created all of this, it only can exist so long as people believe in it. And if people are taught not to believe in it anymore, guess what? They'll stop believing in it, and we'll go back the way every other country that has walked away from these ideas has, back to tribalism and authoritarianism and poverty. And that's what I'm trying to argue against.
Yeah, Q Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right?
No, exactly. And also cue some people on the right these days who are all talking about economic nationalism and how we need, and we need more protectionism. And I think these problems exist on both sides. I think the left is much more open and it's much more widespread in their embrace of socialism and all of that kind of stuff. But the threat can come from a lot of different angles.
Well, I appreciate your time this morning. Jonah Goldberg, he's going to be appearing again around 5 p.m. as the reception over at the Washington University School of Law, sponsored by the Show Me Institute. We'll put information up on our website at 971talk.com/Cox. Go on there and find out more details about how to take part in that. Jonah, thank you so much for your time.
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show.
97.1 News Time, 5:45 at 70 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Several lawsuits have been filed against the city of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. A judge has thrown out a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and dozens of bars. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores in Missouri and Illinois. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 5:45. It's 70 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic looks good at this hour. Of course, we already have a delay on the Poplar Street Bridge. That's the exception. And it's 5:46 in the morning. Already a jam around the bend and crossing the Poplar. We have 2 lanes down westbound for construction. Things look great on all of the other bridges headed in from Illinois, be it up north all the way down south to the JB Bridge. This is the only volume we really have at this hour. Northbound 270, still a good run at 44. No delays yet for eastbound 70 drivers headed into downtown. If you see a traffic incident, you can let me know on Twitter at Susan6768. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 5:46.
This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
It's always smart to shop at Diamonds Direct, but right now it's smarter than ever with 5 years, 0 interest financing and no money down on any purchase. No kidding, it's the best offer ever. Keep your money and finance the entire purchase, even the tax, for 5 years without paying a dime in interest. Get a $10,000 certified diamond for only $168 a month. I'm telling you, this makes fine jewelry more affordable than ever. It's definitely the smart way to buy. On approved credit, details at diamondsdirect.com.
Olive and 270 at City Place.
Does your home have windows that stick, or maybe floors that sag? What about cracks in your walls? If your home has any of these signs, the windows, floors, and walls may not be the problem. It may be your foundation. The good news? We know how to fix foundation problems permanently. To learn how, call us today for a free, no-obligation inspection.
Call Woods at 888-908-4637. Woods Basement Systems, the highest rated, most reviewed contractor for basement waterproofing, crawl space, and foundation repairs. Find us at woodsrocks.com.
If you have retirement questions, you can bet Marvin Mitchell probably has the answer. Join him every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1 for Rethinking Retirement. With his years of experience, Marvin can help take the guesswork out of your retirement planning. Rethinking Retirement is your source for all things retirement, from how current events could affect your savings to strategies to maximize your retirement income and everything in between. Don't miss Rethinking Retirement with Marvin Mitchell every Saturday at 4 and Sunday at 1.
Victory Men's Health is all about you being you again. You may need testosterone replacement therapy. If you're going to have your hormones treated, make sure you're seeing a specialist. This is not a one-size-fits-all treatment. Make sure you have options. Victory offers several different therapies for testosterone replacement, such as bioidentical pellets, injections, and gels. Plus, they have the newest treatment for ED. It's wave therapy, pain-free, and hundreds of their patients have been treated successfully. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
It's not too late. Golden Oak Lending has millions of dollars available with mortgage rates in the threes.
Call Golden Oak now to get your share of lower rates or get cash out. This is James Hawkins. Home values are going up, and that means increased equity. Pay off high-interest credit cards. Eliminate PMI. Fix up your home. This is low-interest money at your disposal.
Just call Golden Oak Lending for a free mortgage checkup. We'll qualify you right over the phone.
And if you're shopping for a new home, we'll get you pre-approved for free, so you'll know just how much home you can afford.
Lock-in rates in the threes. You could even skip 2 months of mortgage payments. And if we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge. Call 314-567-GOLD. 567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 111 Westport Plaza, St. Louis, Missouri. Call 567-GOLD. 567-GOLD.
The news that's now.
And come November,
elections do have consequences.
Vote Republican.
Concise and current.
The Democrats have a shot at taking the House back.
How do we trust these Democrats in the midterm election?
FM News Talk 97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. This hour brought to you by Lance Drury Law. IRS problems? Call local attorney Lance Drury for legal help. 314-260-6120 or go to lancedrurylaw.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox.
Bite your face despite your nose. 17 and a half years old. Worrying about my brother finding out. Where's the fun in doing what you're told? I'll give you the rest, I could persuade you. I know you typical stone 18, you welcome me and I, oh man.
I don't know if you know this, the first Emmys were held back in 1949. Things were very different back then. Gas was 17 cents a gallon. A new home cost $7,000. And we all agreed that Nazis were bad.
Yeah, bring in Saturday Night Live. Let them take over the Emmys. It'll be better, they said.
I had a feeling you weren't going to like that very much.
You have to wonder if anybody watched. I sure as heck wouldn't have watched. I did, frankly, wouldn't even have known that it was going on if a friend of mine who used to work at Channel 4 here got hired at the network level to be a director in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
So television director, not a movie director. But anyway, he was apparently in the back studio helping switch cameras and all that for the Emmys last night, and he posted something on his Facebook page with a picture of him sitting there. And if it hadn't been for that, I wouldn't even have known that it happened. And then this morning on the way in, I made the mistake of switching over to an alternate news source on the way in this morning just to see what they were covering, and it was 4 minutes of Emmy coverage like anybody cared. And what I discovered was only one person won anything last night. Well, there might have been two now that I read the list, but of their coverage, the only person that won anything last night that I was really happy about was the Fonz.
The Fonz.
The Fonz.
Apparently, Henry Winkler won an Emmy last night for Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series,
All right.
which I've never heard of.
I haven't either.
Something called Barry. Is it about Barack Obama? I don't know what's it about. No?
No, and I don't know enough about it. I think it's a Netflix deal, like a dark comedy.
And Jeff Daniels won Outstanding Supporting Actor in a limited series called Godless, whatever that is. I've always liked Jeff Daniels.
Yeah, down and out guy. Becomes a hitman, I think, is Barry.
Oh, okay. So beyond that, it happened. I wouldn't have watched. I'm sure that they spent. I know that this Michael Shea made some comment insulting anybody who believed in Jesus last night, particularly white people and Jesus. We can find that bite, I'm sure. I saw it on Fox News this morning. But other than that, I'm sure they spent all night insulting. They had people with pictures of "Stop Kavanaugh" written in ink on their arms. I mean, it was a full-on display of everything we hate about liberals at the Emmys last night. So I had no desire to watch it. Anyway, that's apparently happened. Tree fell. Nobody heard it. Didn't happen. That's kind of where I am with it. Here's the good news. Here's the news that we should be talking about today. The president has announced that we are going to finally get to see the text messages between James Comey and Bruce Orr and Peter Strzok and Lisa Page and Andrew McCabe and all of these people connected to the Carter Page investigation. Remember the Carter Page investigation, which it sounds more and more like between he and Papadopoulos was a big setup operation, led to the FISA warrants in which the Steele dossier was used to spy on American citizens. And we're eventually, I'm hoping what the president's going to do next is declassify that so that Americans know for sure this whole Kavanaugh thing has been a massive distraction. But what people need to understand is how the system was abused in an attempt to create some reason to get rid of the Trump administration. They didn't like the fact that he got elected, and they were looking for a way of an internal coup to remove him, to give somebody an excuse to remove him. We've gotten a glimpse of it from some of the latest emails and texts released between Page and Strzok. You know, we need to have an actionable plan here that could lead to some sort of an indictment. We know what they were after. So yesterday, the president reported they're going to release all FBI reports of interviews prepared in connection with all Carter Page FISA applications. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen, but I'm thrilled that it's going to happen. Can I just tell you that? And it's good.
Yeah.
That's the news that's not getting reported. Plus, the Syrians shot down a Russian jet yesterday. The Syrians did it with their missile, but of course Russia is blaming Israel. We're going to cover all of this for you today. We're going to give away some tickets to see Dire Straits' Legacy. It's all coming up on the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Marc Cox here for Granite Transformations, the company that remodeled my kitchen countertops and bathroom countertops. Exciting news. You need to visit their new showroom down in Fenton. It's even more amazing than the old showroom in Chesterfield. They're going to have a showroom moving special, so go visit them. It's 1750 Fenn Park Drive in Fenton, just off 44 and Mraz. It's easy to get to. Let me tell you about Granite Transformations. This is a great product. We got the engineered granite, but they offer quartz and recycled glass and even Italian marble. It comes with an exclusive lifetime warranty that covers the chipping or the cracking of the stone itself. It's heat, stain, scratch, bacteria resistant, you name it. This is a top-of-the-line product. They'll have it in your house installed in about a day or maybe a day and a half. Trust me, you need to talk to Granite Transformations if you're about to redo your kitchen or your bathroom. Call them at 636-728-1100 or go to their website at granitetransformations.com.
Are you putting your retirement savings in a 401k, IRA, or investment account? Then I have one word of advice. Stop. Many experts warn of a stock market crash any day now. And if it's anything like the last two crashes, you could lose 50% or more of your hard-earned savings in the Wall Street casino. Can you afford to lose half of your retirement savings again? Hey, you don't have to lose a penny because there's a better, safer way to save for retirement. And you can learn all about it in a free report. This is the report Wall Street and big banks desperately hope you never see. Why? Because this method continues to grow your money even when the market tumbles. It lets you take back control of your money and finances, and it gives you penalty-free access to your savings. Plus, it beats the pants off any 401k or IRA. These are uncertain times, so get the information you need today to guarantee your retirement security. To get this free report, go to bankonyourself.com right now. That's bankonyourself.com. bankonyourself.com.
Jewels on Hampton in St. Louis Hills pays some of the highest prices for gold diamonds, semi-precious stones, silver, coins, and currency. From jewelry, watches, antiques, and collectibles, the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Jewels on Hampton offers fantastic attentive service, as well as the best prices in the metro area. Looking for a new watch? Jewels on Hampton has an extensive collection of modern and vintage watches, carrying some of the top premier brands. Even unique pocket watches. Jewels on Hampton features a full-service jewelry and watch repair department to restore your jewelry, watch, or heirloom to like-new condition, from cleaning to resetting. Got gold? Get paid at Jewels on Hampton at 4506 Hampton Avenue, just 3 blocks south of Chippewa. Learn more at jewelsonhampton.com or call 314-752-5000. That's 314-752-5000. Jewels on Hampton, a St. Louis hidden gem.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
She'll tell her story. He'll deny her allegations. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what'll happen Monday at the Senate when Brett Kavanaugh's accuser will testify about her allegation he tried to sexually assault her at a party when they were teenagers in the 1980s. The Supreme Court nominee will also testify it didn't happen.
They shouldn't have waited till literally the last days. They should have done it a lot sooner.
But President Trump believes Kavanaugh's still on track. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Judge Kavanaugh and Christine Blasey Ford will both testify under oath about what happened at a teenage drinking party more than 30 years ago. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says Ford's allegations are credible and ought to be treated with the utmost gravity.
I believe her. Many, many, many Americans believe her.
Their testimony means Thursday's Judiciary Committee confirmation vote will be delayed. Democrats want the FBI to investigate the allegations as part of Judge Kavanaugh's background investigation. Dave?
Rachel, North Korea's leaders meeting with South Korea's president, and Kim Jong-un is praising President Trump, crediting him with stabilizing regional security as President Moon Jae-in tries to get Kim to follow through, giving up nuclear weapons. Many roads remain underwater in the Carolinas. There are flooded communities still cut off as some rivers keep rising. People are still getting rescued, like this man in Pollocksville yesterday.
It was terrifying. I wasn't going to leave.
Hurricane Florence blamed for 32 deaths in 3 states. A Russian military jet shot down in the Mediterranean, and Moscow's blaming Israel, even though Syrian anti-aircraft missiles brought it down, killing all 15 people on board. But Russia says Israeli fighter jets attacking Syrian targets used that plane as a shield. A sheriff's deputy shot dead near Sacramento, California, when a customer at an auto parts store arguing with an employee opened fire. This woman was there.
Very scary. Very scary. Very nervous still.
The gunman was also wounded in the shootout. So was a second deputy and a bystander. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Doctor, award-winning chief medical correspondent, and Salon Pass user, Dr. Bob Arnott.
For pain relief, the best solution may surprise you. I found that Salon Pa's Lidocaine Plus works best for my pain. It's powerful, available without a prescription, and uses 2 anesthetics to numb nerves right where it hurts. It starts to work on contact, providing effective, lasting pain relief I can count on.
Salon Paws in the silver box with the blue wave.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
97.1 News Time, 6:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Dave Murray. Mostly sunny, hot today, high of 92. Clear and mild tonight. We'll have a low around 70. Sunny and hot again tomorrow with a high of 95. It's 72 degrees right now. Missouri's U.S. senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Senator Roy Blunt said the committee should examine the claims before any further action is taken, and Senator Claire McCaskill says she is troubled by the allegations. Kavanaugh denies the claims that he sexually assaulted a woman more than 30 years ago when they were in high school. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and bars in St. Louis County. The judge ruled the ballot language violated the county charter because it didn't disclose what sections of existing law would be amended or repealed. A separate ballot proposal remains on the ballot that would require St. Louis County's 2 casinos to make at least half of their gaming floors smoke-free. Several lawsuits have been filed against the city of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. Most of the lawsuits are connected to the use of kettling by officers, which is when officers corral a crowd and arrest those in the crowd at once. Police say the protesters were warned several times to disperse or face arrest. St. Louis Mayor Lyda Cruzen says the city is reviewing the lawsuits. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores. The process of closing the stores and rebranding them will begin on October 7th and is expected to be completed by late October. 14 of the stores are in Missouri, 5 are in Illinois. Officials say all employees will be offered jobs at the same wage rate, doing comparable work at a similar number of hours. This report brought to you by Brinton Vision, Marc Cox's choice for vision correction, 314-375-2020, brintonvision.com. 97.1 News Time, 6:04. It's 72 degrees. Sports is brought to you by STL Fence Works, where your satisfaction is their passion. The Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 in Atlanta last night. Colton Wong, Paul DeYoung, Harrison Bader, and Yadier Molina all hit home runs. Starter Miles Michaelis allowed 4 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings for his 3rd straight win. The Cardinals are now a half game ahead of Colorado for the 2nd National League wildcard spot. The series continues tonight at 6:35. This report brought to you by The Edge for Men. Hey guys, get your edge back with acrostic wave therapy for ED with Dr. Richard Moore at The Edge for Men. 97.1 News Time, 6:05. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Already some heavy volume for Illinois drivers, no surprise there, and it's around the bend and crossing the Poplar Street Bridge this morning. Looks like westbound 64, just the beginnings of some volume, a little bit of moderate volume. Westbound 64 at the 5570 merge. Things look good on the bridges with the exception of the Poplar. All of the other ones have light volume at this hour. Don't forget, of course, we have a couple lanes down westbound on the Poplar Street Bridge, and the Martin Luther King Bridge is completely closed. Northbound 270 looking good, just a little bit of volume starting to appear right around Doherty Ferry. If you see a traffic incident, you can let me know on Twitter at Susan6768. Traffic brought to you by RP Lumber. Best service, best value. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Alzheimer's or dementia can cause your loved one to withdraw from activities that they enjoy, even from family and friends. And that's why it's so important for their health and happiness to maintain those interests in relationships, because it leads to an overall better quality of life and it reduces the effects of memory impairment. And that's why the Garden View Care Centers offer an activity-based approach to memory care with activities, outings, and events. The Garden View Care Centers provide residents and families with an opportunity to share fun, to make those new memories, and to spend time together engaged in activities that they enjoyed in their past.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, when you walk through the Garden View Care Centers, these folks, they get it. They understand what it's like. They kind of approach it from the standpoint that if my loved one was here, how would I want them to be treated? And you see that. I mean, you can't, that's something that's hard to fake. It really is. I mean, they obviously knew we were coming to visit, but we visited all 3 locations. Our experience was the same at each one of them. The administrators knew people by name. The nurses were, friendly and caring and helping.
Love what they do.
They love what they do. You can tell if somebody loves what they do. If you were in our studio, you would know that we love what we do. We love what we do, and at Garden View Care Center, it's the same thing. So schedule a visit today, one of the 3 locations, or visit all 3. Just go to their website to schedule your tour at gvcc.com.
Dear beloved home, you've always been there for us. From our kids playing in the bathtub when they were little, to teaching our son how to shave for the very first time. But now we have 3 teenagers, and it's created quite the traffic jam. Right Bath by Mosby gave us a wide variety of design choices, all in the latest styles to reflect our tastes. Thank you, Right Bath, for helping us bring an end to the daily bathroom wars, and for helping us love our home again for years to come.
Call 909-1820 or visit rightbath.com. Right Bath by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
You lead a busy lifestyle, and it's important to remain cool and confident when making that big presentation, negotiating a deal, or just hanging out with friends. You can with Miradry from Ridenour Plastic Surgery. Miradry is an FDA-approved device that permanently eliminates underarm sweat safely with no downtime. Stay confident and active without fear of underarm sweat. Call Ridenour at 314-878-8600 to get started. Ridenour knows confidence is sexy, confidence is beautiful. 878-8600.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
That it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire.
This is the Marc Cox
Morning Show.
Come on, baby,
light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Follow the show on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose. And our love become a funeral pyre.
I did not bring the information forward to try to establish a legal claim for sexual harassment. I think we differ on our interpretation of what I said.
Well, what am I missing here, Professor Hill?
The witness speak in her own words rather than having words put in her mouth.
Mr. Chairman, I object to that. I object to that vociferously. I'm asking questions here. If Senator Kennedy has anything to say, let him participate in this hearing.
No, let it.
Oh, boy. Arlen Specter, who just eviscerated Anita Hill back in the day in 1991, tripping her up on the fact that the FBI investigation testimony differed from what she was giving in the Senate. He gets redressed by Ted Kennedy. Now, here's what you need to remember about this. Ted Kennedy was the liberal lion of the United States Senate, right? But Ted wasn't on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Ted just decided he was going to sit in on it right next to Joe Biden. Jumping Joe Biden was sitting right there. Biden was speechless because Kennedy jumped in and inserted himself into the hearing, and Arlen Specter shut him down. He's like, if Mr. Kennedy has something to say, he can take part in the hearing. Why in the world, at a sexual harassment hearing, would Ted Kennedy be hesitant to stand up as a voice of authority? I'm leaving that hanging out there. Possibly because he drove drunk and drowned a woman one night in Chappaquiddick.
That was gonna be my question.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it because he killed someone?
Thank
that
you.
Was a woman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When I return, Mary Jo and the car were gone. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it.
I haven't seen the movie.
Ted came back, didn't call police for 24 hours or something, and of course the girl was dead by the time they found her. I mean, it was a mess. The Kopechne family said they were glad the movie this movie was made because it finally got back to the truth of what happened and all of that. But Ted Kennedy continued his career as a United States Senator for years and years and years. It probably ruined his chances of running. I was going to use the word killed, but that wouldn't be appropriate. Probably ruined his chances of running for president, which we all know he desperately wanted to do to continue the Kennedy tradition. But the Democrats seem to have no problem with that. But now you have 36-year-old allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, and you've got people of Tammy Duckworth from over here in Illinois, who is already using the word predator against this fine man. Go to cut 7.
Well, I've heard, many predators say and refute allegations against them. I think what we need to do is we need to hear from both sides. And this is why it's so important for the FBI to investigate these allegations so that it doesn't become a he said, she said kind of an issue.
It's Tammy Duckworth. It's already a he said, she said situation. It's 36 years old. Brett Kavanaugh says it didn't even happen. The woman can't remember what house it was at. She apparently was, I don't know if she was intoxicated or not. She can't remember how she got home. Can't remember who else was there. First she said there were 4 people. Then there were only 2. She's pretty sure Brett Kavanaugh was one of them. Brett Kavanaugh says it never happened. His friend says it never happened. Here's the great thing about it. A lot of women who knew Brett Kavanaugh at the time have since come out to show their support for him. They went there with him. They admitted, you know what? We had beers with Brett Kavanaugh years ago. Yeah, I had a beer with him, but this is ridiculous. Go to cut 34, please.
Tell me your recollection. Did you ever see him, out of control, drunk, in a situation where he might not have remembered what he was doing?
No, not at all. We did drink beer in high school. Back then, the drinking age in Washington was 18.
You never saw him drink a beer in high school ever?
No, we did. Yeah, we did.
You did?
No,
I thought you said you didn't.
Drink beer.
Okay, just to be clear.
No, we drank beer. It was legal, so we did drink beer. But I never saw him out of control, drunk. He always retained his composure. He was a responsible guy. He was someone who did have a beer, but he was never out of control. He never became someone different after drinking.
So there you have it. See, folks, this is what it's come down to. The word of one person making unsubstantiated, more than likely false allegations against Brett Kavanaugh will dominate the news cycle, and the testimony of multiple women who've signed documents showing their support for Brett Kavanaugh will be ignored. That's what happens in this upside-down world that we live in these days. And what you're going to see in the next week is going to be a public spectacle that transcends whatever happened in 1991 with Clarence Thomas. Before we go to break here, I want to play something because it was the most powerful thing that came out of the Clarence Thomas hearings. It was a strong rebuttal by Clarence Thomas, and I'm hoping you're going to see the same thing out of Brett Kavanaugh this morning. But it's got Clarence Thomas questioning whether or not this sitting on the Supreme Court is worth it when people are willing to slander your reputation so easily.
The Supreme Court is not worth it. No job is worth it. I'm not here for that. I'm here for my name, my family, my life, and my integrity. I think something is dreadfully wrong with this country when any person in this free country would be subjected to this. This is not a closed room. There was an FBI investigation. This is not an opportunity to talk about difficult matters privately or in a closed environment. This is a circus. It's a national disgrace. And from my standpoint, as a black American, as far as I'm concerned, it is a high-tech lynching for uppity blacks who in any way deign to think for themselves, to do for themselves, to have different ideas. And it is a message that unless you kowtow to an old order, this is what will happen to you. You will be lynched, destroyed, caricatured by a committee of the U.S. Senate rather than hung from a tree.
97.1 News Time, 6:17. It's 72 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and many bars in St. Louis County. Several lawsuits have been filed against the city of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores in Missouri and Illinois. A man was shot in the neck during an attempted carjacking near Forest Park just after midnight. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 6:18. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, we've already got some volume on the Poplar Street Bridge. Westbound 5564 is a slow go from the King Bridge split across the bridge itself. We've got a little bit of volume, too, on Route 3 in both directions. That's probably a train. Anyway, it's just south of Monsanto. Westbound 64, it's a slow go, headed for the 55 merge on the Illinois side. Most of the bridge is in good shape, though, with the exception of the volume on the Poplar. Now, northbound 270, we're seeing some volume between 21 and Highway 30. Things are still pretty quiet through North County, and eastbound 70 looking good, headed for the Blanchette Bridge. Traffic brought to you by Meineke. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:19.
Hey, just noticed where some good friends of mine, I saw them mention it on Facebook, in fact, this week, are happy customers of Granite Transformations. They had Granite Transformations come in, put in new kitchen countertops for them, put in new backsplash, it looked like, refaced their cabinets, and you know what? In a span of about 3 days, it looks like a different kitchen. Did you notice what I said there? A span of 2 or 3 days. That's what they do at Granite Transformations. They can transform your kitchen. You're not living out of, takeout food boxes for 4 months, and you've got a brand new look in your kitchen. It's fantastic. They redid our kitchen about 9 or 10 years ago. I've just had my main floor bathroom countertops replaced by Granite Transformations. It's beautiful. Go visit their showroom, their facility where they kind of show you this stuff firsthand down in Fenton, 1750 Fenn Park Drive down in Fenton. Or they'll be happy to come to your house. They'll bring samples. They'll show you 636-728-1100. They also specialize in full bath remodels with this same beautiful engineered granite and quartz and recycled glass and Italian marbled look. It's beautiful, breathtaking stuff. Call them at 636-728-1100 or go to their website at granitetransformations.com.
Become the next millionaire with Missouri Lottery's Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is an estimated $252 million. The Missouri Lottery reminds you to visit your favorite retailer because you can't win the estimated $252 million Mega Millions jackpot if you don't play. And please play responsibly.
Ethanol is vital to rural America. Farm families are facing the sharpest economic decline in generations, and trade barriers are rising, creating uncertainty. Allowing year-round sales of E15 will provide some relief to farmers now by expanding demand in the U.S. Here's Doug Stanek, an Iowa family farmer, on the importance of ethanol.
I live in Webster County, Iowa. This land's been in the family over a century. We're producing a product that is good for the environment. Ethanol is great for the country and for family farms.
Unfortunately, outdated federal regulations prevent many gas stations from selling E15 during the summer. President Trump has called these regulations unnecessary and ridiculous. He's right. It's time for the EPA to honor President Trump's commitment to year-round E15. America's farmers agree.
I hope President Trump sees this through and continues with promoting E15.
Mr. President, America's farmers are counting on you. Paid for by Growth Energy.
Imagine 5 or 10 years from now finding out that you could have had more money saved for retirement if you had simply taken the time to work toward ensuring your portfolio was tax efficient. That extra vacation you could have taken, or maybe even retiring earlier than you thought possible. We've all heard about the Trump tax changes, but do you know what it means for you? Call Heisey Advisory Group today at 314-909-1116 and register for our upcoming no-cost live tax class on September 27th at Umsel West County Center at 6 p.m. We can help show you how your taxes might be affected by the Trump tax change today and in retirement. Be diligent when planning. Work toward minimizing the effect Washington has on your retirement. Call now and get registered at 314-909-1116.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AEWM and Heisey Advisory Group are not affiliated companies.
Marc Cox here. I'll have your chance all week to win a pair of tickets to Dire Straits Legacy, coming to the Family Arena Saturday, September 29th. Tickets are still available and on sale now. Contest and show details on our website at 971talk.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I see a red door and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn black. I see the girls go by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my darkness goes. I see a line of cars and
but it claims the missile had been fired in response to Israel's, quote, dangerous actions. 15 Russian military personnel were killed in the incident.
So we could have, incidentally, World War III brewing over in the Middle East right now. Did you hear what happened last night? A Russian military plane got shot down, had about 14 or 15 Russian, I guess maybe Air Force or military members on it. Mm-hmm. It was shot down by the Syrians, who were firing missiles at Israeli jets, right? So Israel came in and was having a conflict with them, and they were firing their missiles, which they're apparently not very good at the Israeli jets at an F-16. And guess what? The radar picked up the bigger Russian jet, which was flying at a higher altitude, and the missile hit that and killed everybody. So the Russians, instead of blaming the Syrians, of course, are blaming Israel. And now saying that they are going to retaliate. They reserve the right to retaliate any way they see fit. So, you know, what happens if Israel gets attacked? The United States is involved. So we'll be paying attention to this. It's sort of in the background of everything else that's going on. The president, by the way, among many other things yesterday, it's been announced that we will cap the number of refugees that resettle into the United States next year at 30,000. Cue the lawsuits. Wait for the liberals to judge shop till they find a judge that will step in and stop this, despite the fact that the president has full authority to do that. So what's the problem we have at the southern border, for example? We have an asylum law problem. I've heard Jeff Sessions describe it. I heard Tom Homan, when we had him on the show last week from Washington 2 weeks ago, described the insanity we have at the southern border, where people know they've been coached in many cases to walk across the border and declare asylum. The minute those words come out of their mouth, even if their asylum is from bad food in the country they come from, the United States has to take them into custody, give them a hearing, and then release them into the wild until such time as they're going to reappear in court not, because they don't. That's the insanity we have down there. Instead of having strict guidelines for what qualifies you to get asylum in the United States. Coming from a war zone? Okay. Coming from a country that's been mired in poverty for thousands of years and you just don't like it anymore and you want to come to the land of milk and honey? No, that's not a good enough reason to declare asylum. I'm sorry. So the United States, Mike Pompeo announced yesterday that they're going to put this limit in place, setting it at 30,000 for 2019, saying it reflected the daunting operational reality of what he called a humanitarian crisis involving people claiming asylum in the United States. It's the lowest ceiling placed on the refugee program since it was created in 1980. The president already lowered it to 45,000 for 2018. Oh, the fit they're throwing. Al Jazeera called it shameful that the United States would do something like that. Can you imagine that? Shameful that the United States would do that. That's what they're saying. So you know. This is interesting. And thanks to listener Mike who pointed this out to us,
Yep.
right?
Thank you, Mike.
So this lady has come out of nowhere to claim allegations against Brett Kavanaugh that nobody can prove from 36 years ago, and that's reason enough to call for an FBI investigation and a hearing in front of God and country next Monday. A show, a circus, a sideshow in Washington, D.C. to allow the Democrats on this Judiciary Committee to show their rear ends. Oddly enough, the woman who's accused Minnesota Democrat Keith Ellison of domestic abuse said on Monday that Democrats don't believe her story and threatened to isolate her over the allegations. The DNC chair, Tom Perez, won't say if he believes the domestic abuse claims. Karen Monahan, the former girlfriend, came forward last month alleging Ellison sent her threatening text messages, of which I would assume she has a copy of, and once screamed obscenities at her as he dragged her off a bed by her feet. Ellison has denied it. He did acknowledge he was in a relationship with the woman. But the DNC has taken no action except to say that they would review the accusation. By the way, Ellison is the Democratic candidate for Minnesota Attorney General. Nothing to see here. Please move on. 314-241-9797. The doctor is standing by. Dr. Randy Tober when we come back.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Thursday's committee vote on Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh is being delayed until senators hear more about an accusation of sexual assault both from him and his accuser. There's a hearing scheduled Monday.
President Trump says he wants Brett Kavanaugh to go through at the highest level and with support from Americans.
And I think to do that, you have to go through this.
A White House spokesman says the judge is looking forward to a hearing where he can clear his name.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The leaders of North and South Korea meet today and tomorrow.
There is a lot of pressure on both leaders to deliver some sign of progress towards denuclearization. Kim Jong-un was all smiles as he welcomed South Korea's Moon Jae-in at the airport. And if talks go smoothly, they'll make a joint announcement of what they've agreed to on Wednesday.
Fox's Garrett Tenney. South Korean media reports that Kim said at the meeting today that his summit with President Trump this past summer has stabilized the regional political situation. Fox News. We report, you decide.
97.1 News Time, 6:31. It's 72 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and this report brought to you by Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. Several lawsuits have been filed against the City of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. Most of the lawsuits are connected to the use of kettling by officers, which is when officers corral a crowd and arrest them all at once. Police say the protesters were warned several times to disperse or face arrest. St. Louis Mayor Lyda Crewson says the city is reviewing the lawsuits. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and bars in St. Louis County. The judge ruled the ballot language violated the county charter because it didn't disclose what sections of existing law would be amended or repealed. A separate ballot proposal remains on the ballot that would require St. Louis County's 2 casinos to make at least half of their gaming floors smoke-free. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 in Atlanta last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 6:32. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
We just had a report of an accident eastbound 70 approaching Mid-Rivers Mall Drive, and it's apparently blocking the left lanes. Just bear that in mind. We had an accident on the ramp to Mason from 6440. It looks like it's mostly clear, and there really wasn't ever a delay on eastbound 6440. Just some flashing lights on the scene. Well, we've got some volume on the Poplar Street Bridge as drivers head in from Illinois. No surprise there. And that's from the King Bridge split across the bridge itself. Northbound Route 3 jamming at the bridge as well. And westbound 64 drivers lining up near 25th Street headed for the 5570 merge. Now, northbound 270 is slow, and that's from, we'll call it the 55 merge, heavy through Gravois. Then you get a break and slow again from Big Bend on up through Manchester. Also slow this morning is northbound 55 at the 270 merge. Things are starting to pick up just a little bit westbound 270 at 367. Traffic brought to you by Meineke. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:33.
Gentlemen and the ladies who love their gentlemen. Let's talk about the Edge for Men. Dr. Richard Moore, the founder of the Lifestyle Center and the omnipresent expert at the Edge for Men, will help you balance your hormones. Not just a one-size-fits-all, everyone gets a little testosterone to make sure everything works kind of an approach, but a balancing of the hormones, which can be critical to your cardiovascular, metabolic, your skeletal health, as well as, of course, addressing your maleness. Also in that mix is, of course, acoustic wave therapy, a revolutionary therapy which can be used alone or in combination with testosterone and other hormone balancing therapies. It is the genius of Dr. Moore that will bring all of the technologies at the right time, in the right way, in the right amount, in the right combination to bear on your overall health, well-being, and vitality. Get a free consultation. Call 314-736-4MEN. That's 7364-MEN. And learn about it at edgeformenstl.com. That's edgeformenstl.com.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Does your home have windows that stick? Or maybe floors that sag? What about cracks in your walls? If your home has any of these signs, the windows, floors, and walls may not be the problem. It may be your foundation. The good news? We know how to fix foundation problems permanently. To learn how, call us today for a free, no-obligation inspection.
Call Woods, 888-908-4637. Woods Basement Systems, the highest-rated, most reviewed contractor for basement waterproofing, crawl space, and foundation repairs. Find us at woodsrocks.com.
So chances are you're driving right now, and you probably weren't thinking about needing gas. Until this very second. Now, if you need gas and want to get more out of your miles, then you should stop by Phillips 66. Because right now, when you buy 8 gallons of gas, we'll give you up to 50% off St. Louis Cardinals tickets. So you can fill up and head to a game. Phillips 66. Live to the full. See official rules for details. While supplies last. Valid April 1st, 2018 through September 25th, 2018. Last day to obtain a voucher is September 23rd, 2018. Last day to redeem is September 25th, 2018. Copyright 2018 Phillips 66 Company. All rights reserved.
Diamonds Direct's most incredible offer ever is going on now. 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase with no money down. How about that $5,000 designer ring for less than $85 a month? It's smart, it's easy, it's unheard of. You can even finance 100% of the purchase price. How about a $3,000 pair of earrings, just $50 a month? Fine jewelry has never been more affordable. But hurry, this is a limited time offer. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit, only at Diamonds Direct.
Olive 270 at City Place.
Hi, I'm Doug Miller, president of Miller Pro CPAs and Business Advisors. As a business owner, I understand the challenges faced when it comes to managing a business. From startup to exit planning, we help you maintain a competitive advantage throughout your business life cycle. Let our team of accountants, former business owners, executives, and engineers help you with all your tax, audit, accounting, and consulting needs. Call Miller Pros today at 314-862-2070 or visit us online at millerpros.com. That's 314-862-2070.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
We get it almost every night. And when that moon gets so big and bright, it's a supernatural delight. Everybody was dancing in the moonlight.
That is really important, and we get new blood, new opportunities. But there's something to be said about folks who have been steady in their work, in their fight for years and years and years. When it's popular and when it's not, people who are about significance and not celebrity, purpose and not popularity. And we are in need, and this is something Jefferson even talked about, the need for us to always have a revolutionary spirit in this country. We are in need of a revolution.
I'm your huckleberry.
Enough said there, Cory Booker. We're in need of a revolution in this country, according to Cory Booker. I'm your huckleberry. Bring it. 314-241-9797. Let's get to our guest, please. The doctor is in.
Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist, and an eagle will fly, and it's gonna be his.
Dr. Tobler, you know what? I know that you have been chomping at the bit to talk about what's going on in this Brett Kavanaugh hearing because it's been outrage after outrage since this whole thing broke over the weekend.
I thought we were going to talk about Schnucks Buy and Shop and Save.
Well, we can if you prefer. We can talk about that. That's outrageous too.
No, I have been thinking about this long and hard, as I'm sure you and everyone listening out there, and the ladies in the studio as well. And I'm just no, Zach's not a lady, is he? I'm sorry.
He's not in the studio either. So you're saying,
of course, this is a cisgender moment in our time. So I don't know. But,
there you go.
I think all of us are trying to, again, those of us who have the perspective of history, and oh my, how perspective changes. I tweeted early yesterday morning when Town Hall reported that the lawyer, Deborah Katz, who is a self-proclaimed social justice warrior, basically, on her Twitter feed, which, by the way, is closed. I tried to follow her and verboten on that. You can't do that. You can't follow. She's gone to her social media Twitter sphere safe zone. And she lives for these things. And Town Hall reported that back in the Bill Clinton era, when the Paula Jones accusations came about, she was very dismissive. This wouldn't ever hold. This shouldn't. This is a long ago thing that happened just a few years ago at that time, and essentially was an apologist for Bill Clinton and had a lot to say about discrediting Paula Jones. Fast forward to recently with Al Franken, and this same woman, the lawyer for Miss Ford, Christine Blasey Ford, said that Al Franken similarly dismissed that away. So it's amazing how your political perspective, and this lawyer in D.C. is well known in Democratic circles, has contributed tens of thousands of dollars to places like MoveOn.org and others.
Sure.
It's amazing how perspective and your political bias really informs you on this, unless you're objective and logical, unless you happen to know something about psychological science and may have read Jordan Peterson's smash bestseller 12 Rules for Life, in which he describes the now questioned and revised way of, for instance, child psychologists are careful about suggesting sexual abuse when children, show up with all kinds of psychological problems. And this whole notion of repressed memory that then is, brought to the fore by psychologists was very popular in the 90s. And I'm not suggesting that this woman doesn't believe what happened to her. The question is, did it happen to her? Because it is now well known in psychology circles that therapists are at risk of infusing and actually injecting suggestive memory, which becomes real to people. And there's an awful lot, as Professor Peterson writes, I'm quoting here, the past appears fixed, but it's not in an important psychological sense. There is an awful lot to the past, after all, and the way we organize it can be subject to drastic revision.
Sure.
Now, those on the left might say, well, Brett Kavanaugh can do that as well. I am just, this does not have anything that resembles the pattern of the Harvey Weinsteins and the Les Moonves and the Matt Lauer, where it's just pile on within 24 hours after an accusation. In fact, it's been exactly the opposite, which does bring into question whether this woman, while under psychotherapy for marital counseling, perhaps had an incident, perhaps it wasn't as bad as she imagines, perhaps it was a dream state, perhaps, and I'm not saying it didn't happen. That's a whole nother issue. Let's concede for the sake of argument that it did happen. Well, we excused away Obama's cocaine use, Bill Clinton's multiple sexual assaults, even if you believe only 10% of the claims against him. We lionized Ted Kennedy when he killed Mary Jo Kopechne and walked away from it. So, I just think that the facts of the matter, the logic of the matter, the possible psychological science involved here in the matter, in any objective, real, tangible universe would make this a slam dunk, and nothing would change from a 55 to whatever 35 pro-Kavanaugh vote on the floor.
No.
However, we don't live in that. We live in an alternative universe. We're in the hashtag Me Too era where any man is at risk in the future, 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, of being accused of something that either didn't happen or didn't happen to the extent and severity. And I think this is not only a threat to normal biological relationships between men and women, but frankly, if he gets tanked because of this whole issue, whether or not it happened when he was 17 years old and in an unfiltered state with a few too many beers, not to defend it, but we've defended way too many other people whose body of work and life experience absolutely would lend to their endorsement. And if this happens, this, more than the Russians, more than the FBI gate, more than Spygate, is an existential threat to the Republic, because your separation of powers is thereby destroyed.
Yeah.
And the only people that own the victimhood state and the ability to claim victimhood is the left. And after that, it's all over, Mark. It's all over but the shouting.
Yeah, it's true, because how does anybody else ever get nominated for a Supreme Court seat again? And if they're successful, just like you mentioned, if they were to somehow either kill this nomination or get it delayed beyond the election and the Democrats take over the Senate, we'll have 8 members on the Supreme Court.
But, Mark, it's worse than that. Not only will a conservative or even a right-of-center jurist fail to be confirmed in the future, only leftists will be confirmed. Because look at what happened with Ginsburg, an ACLU lawyer, a confirmed poster child for the left, overwhelmingly confirmed with the Republican Senate. Look, I'm going to say it here, and I hope liberals call you up, and I hope they call me on Saturday and defend it. There are so many ways that you can justify the following statement. Conservatives, I'm not going to say Republicans, conservatives, originalists, libertarians, whatever you're going to call it, have more scruples than the left. End of report. Primary witness, Dianne Feinstein. Case closed, checkmate. Chuck Schumer finds her more credible. How do you find her more credible than, it's like reverse racism. So automatically the complainant is more credible than Brett Kavanaugh, who has more people supporting him, women who worked for him, who dated him at the time, than you can shake a stick at. She has 14 neighbors who have come out and said, yeah, she seems like a pretty good person. They seem like a good family. But yet Chuck Schumer, judge, jury, and executioner, has decided it. The liberals have no scruples. They will always win. They will always throw away their principles for the sake of winning. And I think it is a dark day in America, Mark.
a dark day.
Randy, well said. And I just read there going into the bottom of the hour news. I don't know if you heard that or not, but the accuser, the lady who's accused Keith Ellison, former DNC chair, the one who's running for Attorney General of Minnesota, she said the Democrats have tried to shut her up. And she's got text messages. She's got witnesses at work who've seen the text messages, who she shared these problems with, these threats she felt, and it was completely ignored.
Yep.
Just
and
completely
it's funny
ignored.
how your fingers dance across the keyboards in response to the first thoughts you wake up with in the morning. I knew I was going to be on with you, and I don't know why. As God is my witness, I woke up with the word hyena on my mind. And I looked it up in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Any of several large, strong, nocturnal, carnivorous, old world mammals who usually feed as scavengers. Liberals, the left, Chuck Schumer, Dianne Feinstein, hyenas. Watch it on Monday. You're going to see where is Jim and who's the guy on Mutual Omaha. This is going to be Wild Kingdom. This is going to be wild kingdom on Monday. And I hope the Republicans take the high road and defend this good man who may have been a bad child. We don't know. Who hasn't been a bad child in one way or another? I hope someone brings out a little miniature of the Crystal Cathedral, who was the preacher there, and say, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Schumer, tell me you don't live in a Crystal Cathedral, a glass house, my friend. Now throw stones.
Yeah, it's a great point. Randy, good stuff. I'll look forward to your show on Saturday to continue this conversation.
Always great to talk with you, man.
All right, buddy. Thank you very much. Dr. Randy Tobler, the Randy Tobler Show, 6 to 9 on Saturday mornings here on FM News Talk 97.1. Wow, he just nailed it. 314-241-9797. What an hour I have coming up for you. Sheriff David Clark at 7:20, roughly. I got Michael Hammond with Gun Owners of America. Andy Schlafly to talk about this Kavanaugh hearing. It's all ahead on the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Follow Mark on Twitter at MarkCox971. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
.97.1 News Time, 6:48. It's 72 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and many bars in St. Louis County. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores in Missouri and Illinois. A man was shot in the neck during an attempted carjacking near Forest Park just after midnight. State Auditor Nicole Galloway released a report that found issues with domestic violence funds. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 6:49. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Accident eastbound 70 at Mid-Rivers Mall Drive. The two left lanes are blocked. We've got heavy volume back through O'Fallon this morning. Northbound 270 slow pockets between 55 and Manchester, and the now usual jam as drivers head in from Illinois. 64 is at 25th Street, and a jam on pretty much all of the bridges downtown. And up north, westbound 270, some moderate volume at the Chain of Rocks Bridge. Heavier traffic between 367 and West Florissant. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 6:49.
Well, I love when I can talk to you about something that has a great story behind it. Old Soul Wine's one of those products. So the folks at Lore Wine and Spirits have introduced this wine to the St. Louis area. It comes from a vineyard in Central California that is, well, the grapes are over 100 years old. Some of the vines there, not the grapes, but the vines are over 100 years old. For many years, they produced these fine grapes, sold them to Northern California, to some of these, maybe better-known wineries up in the Napa Valley and all that. And then a few years ago, they decided that, you know what, I think we're going to start making our own wines. And the answer to that is Old Soul Wines from the Oak Ridge Winery out in Lodi, California. They're just fantastic. No matter what you're after, the Cab, the Chardonnay, the Zinfandel, they've got it all. You can find out more about it, but what you need to do is go try it. These are reasonably priced wines, high quality, $10 to about $11.99 a bottle. You can find them at Schnucks. You can find them at Deerberg's. Shop and Save all have these, right? Schnucks, Deerberg, Shop and Save, and, of course, your finer restaurants in the area will have Old Soul wines. Ask for it by name. If you want to find out more about it, you can go to oakridgewinery.com.
Hey, Tim Jones here from my guys at Universal Windows Direct. You know if you need new windows. If your windows are moldy, ugly, fogged up, drafty, or worse, listen, winter's coming, and it's supposed to be a doozy. Don't suffer through one more winter in a cold, drafty home. Call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. They've got that patented foam super spacer technology created by NASA, creates a better seal than traditional metal spacers. Your windows are going to last longer. You save money on your energy bills. New windows from Universal will make your home more beautiful. Everyone's custom made for your home, from wood trim to premium vinyl, the added security of cam-style locks. It's like looking at a brand new home, all backed up by the true lifetime warranty, covered for as long as you own your home, plus 30 years to the next homeowner. For every window you buy, the next one's free. There's no limits, 0% financing for 36 months, all backed up by that true lifetime warranty. Call to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 314-878-0300. That's 314-878-0300, or go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. That's universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
If you're having payroll tax problems, the IRS can and will come to your business and shut it down. Hi, this is Lance Drury, and I'm an experienced tax attorney based right here in St. Louis. Look, the IRS takes payroll tax issues very seriously, and penalties are extremely high. As a business owner, you can be held personally responsible, so shutting your business down will not protect you. Call my office and set up a free confidential appointment today. I have over 12 years of extensive experience dealing with the IRS and payroll tax issues, and I can help you resolve your problems quickly. Remember, if you have payroll tax problems, you have serious legal problems. You need an attorney who specializes in tax law. You need me, Lance Drury. Call 314-260-6120 or toll-free 888-367-6512 or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
The Annie Fry Show.
Don't miss a minute of the Annie Fry Show, but if you do, I've got you covered. Check out the latest podcast at radio.com. Just search for The Annie Fry Show and catch up on what you missed.
Annie Fry, weekdays noon to 3 on FM News Talk 97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Last night, a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night, a little angel came pumping on my door.
This is the United States Senate.
I can't?
No, it's the United States Senate. We just starve little children. We go bomb houses and buses of children. And we give tax breaks to billionaires, but we don't use dirty words.
Is Bernie Sanders one of the strangest human beings you've ever encountered?
Yep.
Accusing us of starving little children and bombing houses, and I mean, he's whacked
Where did
out.
you come up with that?
Maybe no more whacked out than Maxine Waters. When you hear the term "knock somebody off," you know what most people know what that means,
Yes.
right? Maxine Waters, I don't know if the Secret Service is talking to her yet this morning or not, but listen to cut number 41 here.
There are those who say, well, what if we get rid of him? Then we've got that vice president, and he will be worse. I said, knock off the first one, and then go after the second one.
Maxine Waters speaking to a crowd out in California, getting a round of applause after, answering her own question. Somebody said to me, what happens if you knock off the president, then you're stuck with the vice president? And I say knock off the first one and then knock off the second one after that. And I know she wasn't talking about killing him, But it just gives you some idea of the character of Maxine Waters. She's loony.
But that's the first thing you think of when you hear about knocking somebody off.
Right.
So, again, obviously I don't think she's saying go kill the president. I would never believe that that's what she meant to say, but that is kind of where
But she would challenge people at this event again to go disrupt, to go up to people in restaurants and get in their face. I mean, the left, they've lost their collective mind, and you're going to see more and more evidence of that come Monday at these hearings. Hey, when we come back, we've got Sheriff David Clark joining us at 7:10. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve All of the All Financial Group. We often talk about how to get you to the retirement finish line, but there's another finish line we're focusing on this fall. At the All Financial Group, we're a proud sponsor of the 2018 St. Jude Walk Run to End Childhood Cancer. The children of St. Jude were my inspiration as I completed my very first marathon. Their stories helped give me strength on even the toughest training days. St. Jude has helped push the overall survival rate for childhood cancer to 80% today. But they won't stop until no child dies from cancer. Let's help them get to the finish line. Join me at the starting line on Saturday, September the 22nd at the St. Louis Arch Grounds in honor of Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Or make a donation and find out more about joining the team at steveall.com. That's STEVEAUL.com.
Well, you know why put it off? Summer. You know that winter's coming. Summer's about to come to an end here. You know that you're going to wake up one morning and it's going to be just chilly enough in the house that you feel like you need to reach out and turn that furnace on. Some people take pride in putting that off as long as possible, but you're going to need to do it. And why guess as to whether or not it's going to work? Go ahead and call the folks at Agers HVAC. Let them come out, and they will test out your furnace. They'll make sure it's ready to go. If you want, you can join their service agreement. They'll give you $20 off right now just for telling them you heard this on 97.1. They'll do that for you. If you need a new unit, they'll help you with that, too. They've got up to $1,600 in rebates from Lennox right now until mid-November. If you need a new unit, you can take advantage of that, and the utilities will throw in some extra rebates on top of that. So have Agers come to your house. They're going to do great work for you, and they have great prices if you need to replace your unit. Go to their website. It is easy to remember. It's callagers.com.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
Brett Kavanaugh's accuser could tell her story at the Senate. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
These allegations ought to be treated with the utmost gravity.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says he believes Christine Blasey Ford, who has been invited to testify Monday before the Judiciary Committee, though Ford hasn't accepted that offer yet. She claims the Supreme Court nominee groped and tried to sexually assault her at a party when they were teenagers in the 1980s. He denies that and could also testify Monday. One of his old friends from high school, Megan McCaleb, has a hard time believing the allegations.
It is not the Brett Kavanaugh that we know. It is so wildly inaccurate to his character.
Democrats want an FBI investigation. President Trump has done something Democratic House Leader Nancy Pelosi calls desperate and dangerous. ordering declassifications in the Russia probe he calls a witch hunt, including the now infamous application used to get surveillance approved on ex-Trump campaign advisor Carter Page,
as well as all text messages related to Russia without redactions from former FBI Director James Comey, his deputy Andrew McCabe, or as well as former FBI agent Peter Strzok and former FBI lawyer Lisa Page.
Fox's Catherine Herridge. Some rivers keep rising in the Carolinas, where roads remain underwater. Some communities badly flooded, like Pollexville.
Our little town will never be the same again.
Hurricane Florence also hit Wilmington hard. Fox's Evan Brown's there live.
Yeah, Dave, the Army got through flooded highways delivering tarps, water, and food to this now isolated city. Woody White is the Hanover County Commissioner Chairman.
I'm sure there are MREs and food that's easy for people to eat without power and without cooking and things like that.
They've got enough to feed everyone for a few days. More is readily available, but retail stores are reopening. Meanwhile, the Cape Fear River is expected to crest today, and that could bring more flooding to residential communities and the city's downtown area, Dave.
And Florence is blamed for 32 deaths in 3 states. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Dr. Bob Arnott for Salonpas.
I'm training for the world's most grueling paddleboard race. 32 miles of open ocean, high winds and surf. Naturally, I get a lot of muscle pain. 50 years in medicine has taught me what to look for in a pain reliever. Powerful, targeted, non-addictive, and available without a prescription. I found it in Salonpas Lidocaine Plus. It has 2 powerful anesthetics that numb nerves right where it hurts. Salonpas gives me relief.
When working at a growing business, you wear many hats. The new business hat, the buying toner for the copy machine hat, the sifting through tons of resumes hat. You can throw away that last hat thanks to Indeed.com. When posting your job, Indeed lets you add screener questions that give you a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates. So go ahead, dust off that extra long lunch hat. Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
97.1 News Time, 7:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Dave Murray. Mostly sunny and hot today with a high of 92. Clear, mild tonight, low of 70. Mostly sunny, hot again tomorrow, high of 95. It's 72 degrees right now. Missouri's U.S. senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Senator Roy Blunt said the committee should examine the claims before any further action is taken. Kavanaugh denies the claims that he sexually assaulted a woman more than 30 years ago when they were in high school. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and bars in St. Louis County. The judge ruled the ballot language violated the county charter because it didn't disclose what sections of existing law would be amended or repealed. A separate ballot proposal remains on the ballot that would require St. Louis County's 2 casinos to make at least half of their gaming floors smoke-free. A man was shot in the neck during an attempted carjacking near Forest Park just after midnight. Investigators say the 50-year-old man was sitting in his car at Skinker and Roseberry when the suspect approached the car, shot the victim, and ran off. The man is in critical condition. No details have been released on the suspect. The Illinois Department of Corrections is investigating after 3 inmates at the Menard Correctional Center died on 3 consecutive days. The Randolph County coroner says she does not suspect foul play. Autopsy and toxicology reports should take up to 8 weeks to become available. The deaths occurred on September 5th, 6th, and 7th. This report brought to you by Brenton Vision, Marc Cox's choice for vision correction, 314-375-2020, BrentonVision.com. 97.1 News Time, 7:04. It's 72 degrees. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 in Atlanta last night. Colton Wong, Paul DeYoung, Harrison Bader, and Yadier Molina all hit home runs. Starter Miles Michaelis allowed 4 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings for his 3rd straight win. The Cardinals are now a half game ahead of Colorado for the 2nd National League wildcard spot. They continue their series with the Braves tonight at 6:35. This report brought to you by Victory Men's Health, the experts in low testosterone and ED, victorymenshealth.com. 97.1 News Time, 7:05. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, the accident eastbound 70 at Mid-Rivers Mall Drive has been moved off to the right shoulder, but we've got some damage done behind that. It's a slow go back through Lake St. Louis Boulevard. Now, once you get east of Mid-Rivers, things open up and look fine into downtown. Eastbound 6440 drivers, a bit of a slowdown for you at Clarkson, also 170 through Big Bend. Northbound 270 slow pockets, really 55 through Manchester. Not a solid jam, but a slow go. Northbound 55 drivers jam jam at the 270 merge. And all kinds of heavy volume for Illinois drivers. 64 is back through 25th Street. We've got a jam crossing all the other bridges. And westbound 270 is slow now on either side of 367. Traffic brought to you by RP Lumber. Best service, best value. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You know, when you're making the decision to move, who you work with to sell your home or to buy a new home is also a big decision. So let me make it easy for you. Rick and Tracy Ellis. The Rick and Tracy Ellis team with Keller Williams Chesterfield, they're the ones you want on your side when it comes to all of your real estate needs. They've been helping buyers and sellers for more than 20 years, and they are marketing experts. They host 2 weekly radio shows right here on FM News Talk 97.1. They design and publish their own magazine and feature their listings all over social media and, of course, on TracyEllis.com. If you're looking at O'Fallon, they've got this great property at 308 Country Trail Drive for $279,900. This 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home. It's move-in ready. It has an open 2-story floor plan, backs to a wooded lot, and it's also just a great overall location off the Page Extension and Highway 40. Great neighborhood, subdivision pool, playgrounds, and tennis courts. So whatever your price range, whatever type of property you're looking for, Rick and Tracy Ellis will provide you with the best customer service. They offer an excellent commission. They're committed to giving all of their clients maximum exposure of their properties, professional photography, and you can trust Rick and Tracy to represent your best interest. That's the Rick and Tracy Ellis team, TracyEllis.com.
Hi, I'm Charles D'Angelo, weight loss coach and author of the best-selling book, Think and Grow Thin. For the last 15 years, I've helped thousands of people to take charge of their lives mentally, emotionally, and physically. If you're stuck in a place you hate, tired, depressed, and in a defeat whirlpool of emotional eating, I've been there. I once weighed 360 pounds. I was frustrated and confused, and despite everything I had tried, I felt like nothing worked. There were trainers, gyms, supplements, but nothing stuck. I set out to totally transform my life, starting where it all began, my own thinking. I created a step-by-step system to totally change the unhealthy relationship I had with myself and food. I lost 160 pounds and have been helping others achieve their goals ever since. If you're truly ready to discover what it's going to take to have the life you deserve, visit my website, charlesdangelo.com, and schedule a free consultation where we'll talk about exactly what you're going to have to do to make your dreams a reality. Get inspired today at charlesdangelo.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blinds, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow the show on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
I think it's part of a pattern. They can't beat him on the law, so they're trying to destroy his life. If a conservative had edited a tape of a liberal nominee to the court, where you take their words and turn them upside down. They tried to suggest that Judge Kavanaugh used the word or term abortion-inducing drugs when it was the plaintiff, the priest for life. Remember what Kamala Harris did to Judge Kavanaugh? Tried to put words in his mouth. Remember what they tried to say, that he had some knowledge of stolen documents when he did not? So there's been a pattern by Democrats on this committee to take his words out of context, to try to accuse him of things he had nothing to do with. And the last straw here is this allegation that came about last Thursday. And again, why didn't they act on it before?
Yeah. Why didn't they act on it before? Welcome into the Marc Cox Morning Show. Glad that you're with us today. And this is a big question. The question that the senator asked there is a very pertinent question this morning. Why didn't they act on it before. And I'm not talking about June of 2018. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about October of 2012. Remember, you're going to hear a lot this week about the fact that in 2012 is when this lady, this Blasey Ford lady, decided that she had some repressed memory of an assault way back in high school at some drunken house party where no adults were present. Oddly enough, she didn't see fit to come forward with these accusations against Brett Kavanaugh, who was already a sitting federal court judge at that point. He'd been vetted repeatedly by the FBI, had been approved by the United States Senate. None of this ever came forward. Interestingly enough, you have to wonder, why now? Well, here's something you may not have realized. In October of 2012, then candidate for president of the Republicans, Mitt Romney, running against Barack Hussein Obama, announced his list of Supreme Court nominees that he would choose from if he got elected, to try to give people a clear choice of the differences between he and Barack Obama on Election Day. Obviously, Mitt Romney didn't win. Or if he had, I'm wondering if these allegations might have come out much sooner, like 6 years ago. Because that's when she allegedly woke up and realized this happened to her, this repressed memory. Because the list that was put out included, in order here in CNN, Paul Clement, former U.S. Solicitor General, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, U.S. Court of Appeals, D.C. Circuit, Judge Dianne Sykes, Senator Mike Lee, Judge Neil Gorsuch, Judge Jeff Sutton, Judge Janice Rogers Brown, Judge Allison Duncan. These are the names released by Mitt Romney in 2012 of people he would have considered appointing to the Supreme Court. Silence from this lady at that point, because Mitt Romney didn't get elected. So there was no reason to go out and try to destroy the life and career of someone based on what may indeed be a false memory. For all we know, he completely denies it. And here's what I tell you to prepare for, because this is going to be a replay of what happened to Clarence Thomas. So now the liberals need to go back and revise history, because Clarence Thomas is a United States Supreme Court justice. Clarence Thomas, despite the slanders of Anita Hill, became a Supreme Court justice. Clarence Thomas denied, in as strongly a worded denial as I've ever heard, that he had anything to do with harassing Anita Hill. Hold on here. I've got the sound. Stand by. Listen.
Senator, I would like to start by saying unequivocally, uncategorically, that I deny each and every single allegation against me today that suggested in any way that I had conversations of a sexual nature or about pornographic material with Anita Hill, that I ever attempted to date her, that I ever had any personal sexual interest in her, or that I in any way ever harassed her.
His public testimony, when they let him finally speak after hours and hours of just humiliating allegations by Anita Hill, which interestingly enough did not reflect what she told the FBI. So it really got spiced up when she got in front of TV cameras in front of millions of people. And Clarence Thomas got up after she was done and said, this is a high-tech lynching, were his famous words, and I vehemently deny having ever done any of that. Clarence Thomas is now a sitting U.S. Supreme Court justice. So what the Democrats need to do is now go back and change your perception of how that case ended. Go to cut number 22 for me, please. Pat Leahy.
I started to really...
Well, as you know, from the time of Anita Hill, I was one of those who publicly said I believed Anita Hill, that she told the truth. I believe that Clarence Thomas did not tell the truth. Certainly he didn't in answer to a couple of my questions. But it sends a terrible message, especially as they're rushing this through before all the information can come out. What does it say to everybody if more information comes out in the next week or so and he's on a lifetime appointment?
Can I tell you what this is all about? I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. Go to cut 18 for me. Let me apologize in advance for those of you who as I do, respond to this voice like a set of long fingernails scraping down a chalkboard. If it sounds, if the voice has that reaction on your spine, I feel your pain. But let's play it.
How confident are you that the Democrats will take back the House come November?
I think we have a very, very, very good chance of taking back the House. But here's the real surprise. We have a much better chance of taking back the Senate than anybody ever imagined.
You really think that?
I really think it. We have a tough map. You know, we have 10 senators running, Democrats, in states that Trump won. But when you look at each individual state and see how strong these candidates are, and I'll tell you, the number one issue in America, whether you're in a blue state, purple state, or red state, is health care.
This is the reason that they're pressing this issue right now, because they believe they can gin up their base and refire up the people from 2016 who were so angry and took to the streets to march, just like this Blasey Ford lady did with her pink hat. And they think they have a chance of regaining the Senate, at which point they lock up everything, which just drives home the point, as Marsha Blackburn pointed out so correctly yesterday, that Chuck Grassley needs to grow a set. He probably shouldn't have had this hearing Monday anyway, but whenever it's over, he needs to call for a vote at that moment and get Judge Kavanaugh on the court. It's more important now than ever before. Listen.
I have to tell you, after all the vetting that Judge Kavanaugh has been through, to be a judge, a federal judge, and then the fact that this letter is something that Senator Feinstein has had since July, I think that this is a delay tactic, and I think that Senator Grassley should proceed with the vote.
Thank you, Marsha Blackburn. That's exactly what needs to happen. This is a stalling tactic, nothing more, nothing less. They're hoping that Schumer now wants an FBI investigation, which would take weeks, and he's hoping to delay this past the November vote in hopes that he can regain control of the Senate. That's all this is about. So the vote for Kavanaugh has never been more important than it is right now. So I'm going to get to your phone calls coming up here, 314-241-9797. Hang on for that. But right now I want to get to my guest, and he is Sheriff David Clark. We've had him on before. Of course, now he's a senior advisor and a spokesman for the American First Action PAC, at Sheriff Clark on Twitter. Sheriff, good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Let me just make a comment before we get into something else on what you just said. This Kavanaugh hearing has turned into a public flogging of a good man. And, you know, it's interesting that people like you, people like me, and most other people with at least half a brain understand what this is. And I don't understand why the GOP, when they have the full power, Chuck Grassley, and others try to appease the Democrats. You cannot appease the Democrats. You're playing into their hand with the strategy. Well, what's it going to hurt to wait a couple of weeks? It's going to hurt a lot, because this isn't about anything that Kavanaugh has done. This is about stopping this constitutional process of seating somebody on the Supreme Court, that every time a Republican president nominates somebody, we put them up against this character assassination by the left. This is also a symbol or a sign to any future nominee, because I believe President Trump's going to get at least one more in this first term, and for sure 1 to 2 more in the second term. They're sending a message to Democrats: don't think of coming up here accepting this nomination, because we're going to put you through this same thing. And so to a lot of good people, a lot of good jurists, a lot of good people who would be qualified to sit on the Supreme Court, they're looking at this and saying, I didn't work my whole life to get to this place in life, to have it all destroyed just for another notch up the ladder here on the Supreme Court. So, this is chess, not checkers. And too often the GOP does not know how to play chess. They approach this as if it's a game of checkers. And this is what infuriates the base. It infuriates the American people that we do what we're supposed to do. We went out and elected Donald Trump president of the United States. I don't care what the deep state thinks. I don't care what Mrs. Bill Clinton thinks. I don't care what Joe Biden thinks. We chose this man. And if they think it's a mistake, that's quite all right. We, the people, get to make these mistakes if we want. That's part of our process. And for them to stand in the way, I think is what frustrates. There's a lot of people on our side are going to suffer from political fatigue that may just say in November, to hell with it. We went out and did our job. We did what we were supposed to do, and we were let down by the GOP on Capitol Hill.
It's a great point, Sheriff Clark. I played a bite earlier from Clarence Thomas in 1991, where the first thing out of his mouth was, Mr. Chairman, thank you. The Supreme Court is not worth it. It's basically what he said. If I had to rethink this, I don't know if I would put my family and myself through what I've just gone through in this hearing.
It's amazing. I've gotten to meet and know Justice Thomas. I've got a great book, My Grandfather's Son, and there's a chapter in that book that, in his words, it describes this whole process that he went through to get on the court. And it's sad. It brings a tear to your eye. And this should be one of Brett Kavanaugh's, the most happiest times of his life and his family. His parents were there. I mean, this is an honor. What an honor, for heaven's sakes. And to have it turn into this soap opera and this circus, this slimy process. The process has been bastardized, for heaven's sakes. And to have it turn into that, this has got to be one of the low points in his life. Imagine what his wife is feeling right now. I mean, for heaven's sakes, do the Democrats even have a soul? I mean, do they care about people? Politics, like I said, is one thing. American people understand politics, right? You get into the tit for tat, you get into he said, she said, and point, counterpoint. This is gutter politics, and this is what turns off the American people.
Yeah, well said. I couldn't agree with you more, Sheriff. I appreciate that. One of the reasons that we invited you on today was talk a little bit about immigration reform. This is something that's been pushed into the background, and yet this week the man who was here illegally, charged with the stabbing death of a young college girl, Molly Tibbetts, is going to be arraigned. People need to wake up and realize what the real threat is in this country right now.
Right, and this is not an anomaly. And this issue of our broken immigration system and what illegal aliens are doing inside this country is something the American people are starting to take note of. This isn't a once-in-a-while type thing. I don't think a week goes by that you don't hear about some dastardly deed that some illegal immigrant has perpetrated on some American citizen in this country. And the thing about it is, many of these people have been deported time and time and time again, which tells me our southern border is not sealed. It is very porous. President Trump understands that. Many on Capitol Hill do not. They approach this, and both sides, by the way, the GOP and the Democrats, they approach this broken immigration system as if it's the plague. They do not want to touch it. They run away from it like their hair is on fire, and they are really neglecting their duty under the Constitution. The president can only do so much. He's proposed a fix. His 4-pillar plan that he outlaid in the State of the Union address, and they haven't acted on it. The State of the Union address, for heaven's sakes, was in January. We're in September, and they haven't acted on it because they don't want to. They're all afraid. They all think it's going to upset their political position with Hispanic voters. Hispanic voters are not monolithic. So they have a tendency to vote Democrat, but there are a good number of them that came into this country the right way, and they waited 4 or 5 years and worked hard to become U.S. citizens. And for them to sit up here and watch this, where all you have to do is come into this country illegally and set up camp, they have to say to themselves, why the heck didn't I do that? Why did I toil and do all the things I have to do? This isn't fair. And that's what these these politicians on Capitol Hill have to take in mind. All right, we have we're a country, we're a sovereign country. That means we have borders, and you have to protect those borders. And for the Democrats with their open border philosophy, I mean, for heaven's sakes, this polls nearly 70% with the American people that are polled say we need our borders secure, and they support fixing this broken immigration system. So why the politicians won't act is just beyond me.
Well, and most of them stick their finger up in the wind to see which way it's blowing on the left, and some on the right do that as well. I want to be fair in that criticism, but in this particular case, you've got people running for governorships around the country, in this country right now, and for Congress, who have the audacity to call members of ICE, our law enforcement first responders, thugs, and that is outrageous.
Sure it is. Well, let's be honest here. The left, liberals, two different things, but the Democrat Party, they abhor law enforcement. They abhor law enforcement at the local level. Look what they did to smear cops over the last 4 or 5 years. They abhor it at the federal level, except for the FBI. The Democrat Party is embracing the FBI for one reason, because they tried to and are trying to take down Donald Trump. Otherwise, the Democrats had no use for the FBI or the CIA either. So when you look at this and what they've done to ICE, of course, again, this is outrageous. Of course, this is crazy talk. But they get away with it. Again, it's just their attempt to serve up red meat to their rabid liberal base that has taken over this party, the Democrat Party, and they know they have to keep them happy. And so the more outrageous they can be, and one of the things that their far left people hate, these anarchists, are cops, are law enforcement.
Sure they do.
So this goes in line with exactly what they're trying to do here.
Sheriff David Clarke, I appreciate your time today. What's the best way for people to keep up with you these days?
Right now, at Sheriff Clarke, and that's Clarke with an E, CLARKE on Twitter. And I'll have a new website going up soon, and that'll be announced on Twitter.
Outstanding. Sir, it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You have a great morning. Thank you. Sheriff David Clarke there joining us. Boy, powerful stuff, and he's absolutely right about what's going on. I tell you what, we'll get to your phone calls here, 314-241-9797. We're going to talk to Michael Hammond coming up here shortly. He's with the Gun Owners of America, a couple of big court decisions impacting your Second Amendment rights. I've got Andrew Schlafly at 8:10, my friend Chris Arps at 8:20. You're listening to the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Dear beloved home, over our years, we've experienced many of life's changes together. Our lives have changed, and we've made changes to you as well. Now, as we pulled into our driveway at the end of a long day, we had noticed it was time for a makeover. Exteriors by Mosby provided us a broad range of options for new windows and siding that let us love your outside as much as we love your inside. With Exteriors by Mosby, we're taking as good care of you as you care for us.
Call 909-8383 or visit exteriorsbymosby.com. Exteriors by Mosby. Home never felt so good.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. By now, everyone knows that this is the perfect time to refinance. Here's why you choose to work with the Home Loan Expert team. We underwrite all of our own files, which means faster turn times. We don't have all that overhead like the big banks, which means you get a lower rate and less cost, and customer service that no one can match. We're in the office 7 days a week, working till 10 p.m. for you. Give us a call or apply online to start saving now. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Time is running out. Just remember that. So, because summer is running out, there's a late summer savings deal for Rhino Shield. You can only take advantage of it as long as it's still summer, right? Because Darren's he's looking at the fall, and then it gets too cold to paint. So he wants to book your job now. He's going to give you 25% off as a late summer savings program. You need your home painted with this exterior ceramic coating. Maybe you need your commercial building. He does roofs and the sides of these commercial buildings, so you don't have to worry about maintenance anymore on this stuff. Your church, your condo, whatever it is, they're going to come in, they're going to give you an estimate, they're going to show you these before and after pictures of this great product with a 25-year warranty, and then when it gets to the bottom line and gives you the estimate, he's going to take another 25% off. That's a great deal. This stuff is already more affordable than you may think. 877-25-RHINO to set up your in-home appointment, or just go to that website for more details, 877-25rhino.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh says he's looking forward to clearing his name. The woman accusing him of sexual assault in high school, Christine Blasey Ford, is also invited to testify at a Senate hearing Monday.
Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says Ford's allegations ought to be treated with the utmost gravity.
I believe her. Many, many, many Americans believe her.
Their testimony means Thursday's Judiciary Committee confirmation vote will be delayed.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. President Trump's ordered the declassification of surveillance warrant applications and FBI text messages related to the Russia election meddling investigation.
Democrats like Nancy Pelosi say releasing classified material like this is desperate and dangerous. But Republican Peter King tells Fox News at Night,
the American people will find out that there was no basis for these FISA warrants.
A Justice Department spokesman says they are already working on the president's request.
Fox's Sean Langell. Fox News. We report, you decide.
97.1 News Time, 7:31. It's 72 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer. Missouri's U.S. senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Senator Roy Blunt said the committee should examine the claims before any further action is taken, and Senator Claire McCaskill said she is troubled by the allegations. Kavanaugh denies the claims he sexually assaulted a woman more than 30 years ago when they were in high school. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and bars in St. Louis County. The judge ruled the ballot language violated the county charter because it didn't disclose what sections of existing law would be amended or repealed. A separate ballot proposal remains on the ballot that would require St. Louis County's 2 casinos to make at least half of their gaming floors smoke-free. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 in Atlanta last night. They played tonight at 6:35, and the Bears beat the Seahawks 24-17 on Monday Night Football. 97.1 News Time, 7:32. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, eastbound 70 drivers, we had an earlier accident at Mid Rivers, and that's been cleared, but combined with the bright sunshine, it's a slow go back to Lake St. Louis Boulevard. We have eastbound 6440, a slow pocket or two through Chesterfield Valley, but not a solid jam. Most of the volume is between 270 and Big Bend. Westbound is lining up, approaching Hampton out through McCausland. Westbound 270, a slow go, just a little bit as you head between the Canal and Chain of Rocks bridges. A little bit slow on either side of 367. Eastbound 70 drivers, by the way, slow again, 94 through the Rock Road. Northbound 270 is jammed, and that's 55. Pretty heavy all the way on up through Manchester. Definitely a jam for Illinois drivers. 64 westbound is back to 25th Street. Slow on all of the bridges downtown, and northbound Route 3 jams headed for the bridge complex as well. Traffic brought to you by RP Lumber. Best service, best value. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:33.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Michael has had a lot of problems focusing, following directions, all the things that people with ADHD try to cope with.
If your family's dealing with the issues of ADHD, contact the professionals at St. Louis Neurotherapy Institute like Sherry did.
It's not only affected him, but it's really been something that's affected everybody in the family.
I just wasn't focusing and made a big change. I focus a lot in school now. I'm starting to get a lot of good grades, and it's starting to change my life a lot.
Now he gets up, he's pleasant, he can get his clothes on, he can get his breakfast, he can brush his teeth, get his backpack, all that stuff with very little assistance from me. This has been a total game changer. He's a totally different kid. And Michael, I think you'd agree I'm a nicer mom.
Yeah.
Call to schedule a free consultation and get a tour of the office at 314-983-9355 or visit their website at stlneurotherapy.com. That's stlneurotherapy.com. Don't wait to schedule your free consultation and tour of the office. Call or log on today.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Andersen, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Well, if you're a fan of bourbon, I'm going to do you a favor. You don't have to call up and say thank you, but feel free to if you want. Can I just tell you this? The folks at Lore Wine and Spirits brought me a bottle of this BSB, this brown sugar bourbon, and I'm looking at it thinking, traditionally I've been more of a fan of the straight bourbons, just having it straight over the rocks. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this because I've had some flavored bourbons before that I wasn't crazy about. Can I tell you something? Brown sugar bourbon is as delicious as it sounds. Over a couple of cubes of ice. I had some last night while I was doing show prep, and it's just delicious. It's smooth. You taste the hint of brown sugar. You taste maybe a little hint of cinnamon, but it's smooth stuff, and you need to find out a little more about it. Now, you can only get it right now in the St. Louis area at one place. This is the world's best flavored whiskey as voted by World Whiskey Awards in 2018. You can only buy it at one place right now. That's Deerberg's. And eventually they're going to be available at a few other stores, I think. But right now you're going to have to go to Deerberg's to get it. It is put out by Heritage Distilling, brown sugar bourbon. Go try some today.
Join me, Thomas Helbig, along with Marc Cox and Mark Close for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year on Tuesday, October 9th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. There's limited seating, so you need to hurry. Call right now to reserve your space, 855-755-1555. Do you know the latest strategies for increasing your returns, reducing your risk, and increasing your retirement income? Do you know how to protect your assets in volatile times and help maximize the legacy you leave your heirs? Do you also know how to have a comprehensive written retirement income plan? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 or older, you don't want to miss this last event. Protect your retirement nest egg and join me, Thomas Helbig, along with Marc Cox and Mark Close at the Frontenac Hilton on Tuesday, October 9th at 6:30 p.m. Call 855-755-1555 or online at retirementkey.com. That's 855-755-1555 or online at retirementkey.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow Mark on Twitter at MarcCox971.
I'm your huckleberry.
Couldn't help but think of that after Cory Booker called for a revolution in a speech that he gave yesterday. Was also thinking about it in connection with this case that Denise has been talking about all morning, where some guy got shot in the neck last night while sitting in his car, I guess near the intersection of
Forest Park,
Skinker there in Forest Park. Ended up crashing, I think, after he got shot. Somebody tried to carjack him right by Forest Park.
Yeah.
And he's going to survive, right?
He's critical, unstable condition, but yes, expected to survive.
Wow.
It's awful.
What time did this happen, Denise? Do
it was
we know?
Just after midnight.
Okay. Nothing good happens after midnight. I understand that. But still, it happened by Forest Park.
It's so frustrating because that whole Central West End area and all that area around there is so beautiful. And there's so much to do. There's so many good places to eat and be.
Just not after midnight, apparently.
Even before.
But, this is happening in downtown St. Louis. So
it happens in Soulard.
It gets to the whole issue of, the city is, they can argue all they want over not charging people who violated the law during the Stockley protests. Remember, they're going to have criminal justice reform by letting people violate the law, then not prosecute them for it. That's okay. And then the day after the statute of limitations expired to file charges, 14 of them came out and sued the city over the way they were treated. Give me a break. You went to protest, you got arrested. You could have been sitting at home in your easy chair that night, and that wouldn't have happened. Can I just point that out? Can I be the one to point that out? Thank you. happy to do that. 314-241-9797. Let's get to our guest.
If you ban them in the future, the bullets will have been shot and there won't be any more available.
So you don't shoot deer with a bullet that size. If you do, you could cook it at the same time.
Put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
This is 2A Tuesday, brought to you by the Range St. Louis West.
We're joined this morning by Michael Hammond. He is the Legislative Counsel for the Gun Owners of America and a proud graduate of the Washington University School of Law. Correct, Michael?
No, the undergrad school.
Undergrad, okay.
I went to law school in Greenwich Village, I'm ashamed to say.
Wow.
But let me add this, though. When between 1967 and 1971, I mean, my big thing was walking, taking long walks about 1, 2, and 3 o'clock in the morning. And, of course, one of my big walk paths was up Skinker from the university to Clayton Road.
Yes.
So for 4 years in a row, every other night, I would walk that path at 2 or 3 in the morning. I got a lot of hassling from police, but guess what? I never got shot.
Well, that's good.
Of course, that was before gun control. Now that we have gun control, of course, things are safer.
Yeah, the city of St. Louis has not figured that one out yet. They're more worried about not prosecuting protesters than they are prosecuting criminals. It's
wow.
It's pretty amazing. One reason I wanted to have you on is to talk about a couple of issues that were in the news yesterday, some legal issues. One of them out in California, where a judge has banned a law or has thrown out a law that wouldn't allow an ad for a handgun to even be put up in a gun store.
Yeah.
It's ludicrous.
Yeah, it was a Sacramento U.S. District Court judge who basically threw out a 95-year-old law. It was passed in 1923, and it said you couldn't put up an ad for a handgun in your gun store if it could be seen from the street. This by people who live and die by the First Amendment and whine about how Donald Trump and all these other people want to interfere with the First Amendment, but have no problem interfering with the First Amendment rights of people they find objectionable.
Yeah, and I guess the state of California could still go back and try to appeal this. I don't know if they're going to or not, but
yeah, they could appeal it unfortunately, to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, just referred to in the legal circuit as the Ninth Circus. But presumably that would be appealed to the Supreme Court, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Supreme Court looks like next year.
Well, that's very true. Yeah, we're right in the middle of that debate right now. That's for sure. Yeah. There's a professor at the University of Missouri. I had him on the show last week, and he's been challenging the University of Missouri's ban on his ability to carry his gun in his car, because Missouri state law allows you to, if you're over 21, carry a handgun in your car without a license. Of course, when he drives to work onto the campus of the University of Missouri, suddenly he's violating the law, and he's sued that they shouldn't be allowed to do that.
I heard about that. I heard the lower court basically said that the University of Missouri can circumvent state law with respect to that issue so far. I hope he appeals it, but the other case I think you wanted to talk about, in Seattle, the city has passed an ordinance, presumably in violation of state's preemption laws, absolutely making it illegal to keep a loaded gun in your own house for self-defense. This is sort of part of a trend of jurisdictions trying to overturn the Supreme Court's decision in 2008 that said, if the Second Amendment doesn't mean anything else, it means that you can keep a gun for self-defense.
Yeah, and so how they couched this was they tried to make it a safe storage law, to argue that if it was easily accessible and loaded, it wasn't safely stored. Is that it?
Yes, basically, if it were loaded and wasn't in a gun safe, That is, if it wasn't impossible to get to, then it would be illegal. And if the Supreme Court said anything in Heller, it said that you have a constitutional right to keep a loaded gun in your own house for self-defense. And let me say this: I went to college in St. Louis, but I grew up in Kansas City, and my brother, who lived in the middle of one of the nasty ghetto neighborhoods in Kansas City, woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a drug dealer standing over his bed looking at him at 3 a.m. And he reached into his nightstand, got his loaded gun, stood the guy down until the police arrived. No one ended up getting injured as a result of that, but I am convinced that had he not had that loaded, accessible gun in his nightstand, that he would have died a lot sooner than he did.
Wow.
And basically, that's what Seattle is saying. We're making it illegal for you to keep that gun in your nightstand in order to defend yourself. And not only, you notice that it sort of is a slippery slope. They start out by saying, well, you have a gun, it's loaded, and a kid gets a hold of it and kills someone, then you're liable. Well,
sure.
A lot of people said we don't have any problem with that. But now we see where this is headed. In the Seattle law, nothing has to happen just because that loaded gun is sitting in the nightstand available to you for self-defense means that you're a criminal.
Wow. Well, that's why we have to be vigilant all the time. Michael Hammond, thank you so much for your time. Gunowners.org is the website, at Gunowners on Twitter if you want to follow them. It's always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you soon. Michael Hammond is a brave man walking through Forest Park at 1 in the morning, even back in the late 60s.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, I got a great story for you when we come back. A good guy with a gun stopping a bad guy with a gun. Ready for it? In the state of Illinois. And he's getting praised by the police. We're going to talk about that and much more. I've got Andrew Schlafly, son of Phyllis, coming on at about 8:10 to talk about the Kavanaugh circus that's going to happen next Monday. We'll be right back.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
97.1 News Time, 7:48. It's 72 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Missouri's U.S. senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and many bars in St. Louis County. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores in Missouri and Illinois. A man was shot in the neck during an attempted carjacking near Forest Park just after midnight. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. 97.1 News Time, 7:48. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
We still have some volume for eastbound 70 drivers from Lake St. Louis Boulevard through about 79, then slow again from 94 through the Blanchette Bridge. Not a solid jam, just a slow go as you head toward 270. Westbound 270, it's slow on either side of 367. Eastbound is slow at Lindbergh. Now, eastbound 6440, not that bad. There is some slow-moving traffic in the bright sunshine through Chesterfield Valley today. Then volume picks up again between 270 and Big Bend. Westbound is slow approaching Hampton through McCausland. Eastbound 44 drivers, it's a slow go at 270 and also at Laclede Station Road for you. We had a stall northbound 55 near Bayless. Heavy traffic back past 270. Northbound 270 stacked up 55 through Manchester. The worst of it, of course, is Illinois drivers. I'm so sorry. Westbound 64 jammed from really it's 25th Street again, all the way through the 70 merge where it's a jam to all of the bridges downtown. If you see a traffic incident, let me know on Twitter at Susan6768. Traffic brought to you by Meineke with services from oil change to brake repair. The team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 7:50.
Hey, I know a thing or two about attention to detail when it comes to construction. My dad was a welder. It's what he did for a living. Tried to teach me that. I never caught on to it. It's not easy to do. The folks at Reeker's Truck Body RiekersTruckBody.com. They took me for a tour of their facility out there in beautiful Washington, Missouri. They've expanded that facility, and I got to walk through as they're building these truck bodies, these truck beds, these work beds to spec. So somebody comes in, they of course, landscapers have different needs than people who work on service trucks for fleets. So these orders come in on spec. They have to go out, they have to design it, they have to build it, and they are perfectionists at Rieker's Truck Body. It's why they're so successful at what they do. So if you're a landscaper, if you're a contractor, you're thinking about upgrading that truck body that you have for your work truck, you need to consider going to Rieker's. If you're thinking about snow removal this winter, call them. They've got the plows sitting there ready to be mounted on the front of your vehicle. They can help you out. They've got the highest quality truck beds since 1934. It's how long they've been around. They've got the right equipment for the job. Call Gil or Melanie out there. They'll give you quotes. They'll give you pricing. 1-800-400-3707. 800-400-3707, or go to their website, RiekersTruckBody.com.
Become the next millionaire with Missouri Lottery's Mega Millions. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is an estimated $252 million. The Missouri Lottery reminds you to visit your favorite retailer because you can't win the estimated $252 million Mega Millions jackpot if you don't play. And please play responsibly.
Hi, I'm Charles D'Angelo, weight loss coach and author of the best-selling book, Think and Grow Thin. Has weight always been an issue for you? Have you spent your life working with trainers or counting calories, but despite giving it everything you've got, you feel like nothing works? I was just as frustrated. When I weighed 360 pounds, I was about to give up. I tried all the quick fixes, the supplements, the diet plans, but never seemed to be able to stick to anything. Does that sound familiar? I finally realized that if I wanted my life to change, I was going to have to change the way I felt about myself and food, really disconnecting emotion from eating. I developed a step-by-step program to do just that and lost 160 pounds of fat. For the first time in my life, I felt totally confident and alive, and for the last 15 years, I've been helping my clients achieve the health and fitness goals they've always wanted. Break out of the pattern of emotional eating and schedule your free consultation by calling my office at 314-495-3228 or visiting my website, charlesdangelo.com.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
Everything is defined by the logic or lack thereof of the left.
Mark Levin.
That's the reality we live in.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
This hour, Making America Great, brought to you by Proctor Drapery, Blind, Shades, and Shutters. Making your home great again. ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
All right, I got a couple of tickets to see Dire Straits' Legacy coming up Saturday, September 29th at the Family Arena. Going to be giving them away all week. So they're still available online. They're on sale right now. Go to 971talk.com for more info. How about caller number 8, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. You win a pair, and we'll give away more tomorrow. All right.
Sounds good.
Listen to this.
Tonight, we're hearing from the hero who sprang into action to save a Cicero police officer. When a gunman took aim at police, he jumped out of his own car and opened fire, stopping the deadly threat.
In Chicago, they're not quite sure what to do when a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun because they've done their best to make sure there aren't very many good guys with guns. Listen to the reporter's lead into this story. It was unbelievable. Listen.
Erica, the man has a concealed carry license and has owned the gun he used for 16 years. But he says this is the first time he's shot at anyone.
He's had a gun 16 years and he's never shot at anyone? For goodness sake. They're shocked at that. He's never shot at anyone. Then they actually did a good story on the guy. I was so proud.
The Good Samaritan who asked us not to use his name was on his way home when he saw a traffic stop take a violent turn. As Cicero police tried to stop this black Mercedes, the driver jumped out and opened fire with police shooting back.
I ain't thinking twice to do what I did.
What he did was fire 3 shots at the fleeing suspect who had already shot Cicero police officer Luis Duarte multiple times and was firing on another officer while running toward the Good Samaritan, who didn't hesitate to help.
I was there in the right time, in the right moment. I was scared of the consequence, what would happen, but, I have my permit to carry a gun,
His action praised by many, including Cicero's police chief.
We were lucky enough to have a citizen on the street there who's a concealed carry holder, and he also engaged in gunfire with this offender who was struck one time.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Cicero Police Chief, for pointing out the fact that, thank goodness, there was a good guy with a gun out there. Because the state of Illinois has treated people like second-class citizens if they want to get a concealed carry license in one of the most dangerous cities in America. So this started in Cicero, but it actually ended in the city limits of Chicago. What can we do? A good guy with a gun stopped a bad guy with a gun. That's what happens. Such a great story. That brightens my whole day. 314-241-9797. When we come back, attorney Andy Schlafly on the embarrassing circus that's about to happen to Brett Kavanaugh. We'll be back.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
This is Dr. Randy Tobler for The Edge for Men, the premier place for men devoted to a restored and energized you. Developed by Dr. Richard Moore, famous for the Lifestyle Center, The Edge for Men provides comprehensive, safe, and effective treatment for the problems mature men like us face. Take hormone balance. It's the balance of hormones that counts, not just your testosterone level. And that balance makes a huge difference in our cardiovascular, muscular, skeletal, and yes, psychological health. As a board-certified internal medicine physician, Dr. Moore is equipped to sort out what's off-kilter, treat it with precision, and fine-tune your balance to meet your needs. Often that means help with ED. Now, alongside hormone balancing, there's acoustic wave therapy, a revolution for ED, and intimacy is being restored. It's a game changer, guys. Affordable, with minimal discomfort, and synergistic with hormone balancing. What are you waiting for? See Dr. Moore today. Call for a free consult at 314-7364-MEN or learn more at edgeformenstl.com and get your edge back now.
Hey, Golden Oak Lending is the place to go, no matter what you're thinking of doing. Maybe it's time to refinance because it's been a couple of years, because the equity in your house has increased fairly dramatically because home sales have been hot. Let's face it. There's a good chance you've got some low-interest cash sitting there that you could gain access to pay off some high-interest credit card bills or some other debt that you've incurred, and you don't want to go take out a signature loan for it because you're going to pay a higher interest rate. Just call Golden Oak. They have a free mortgage checkup. They'll qualify you right over the phone. They got rates in the 3s. You can't beat that. If you're shopping for a new home, they'll get you pre-approved for free, and they'll let you know how much home you can afford. It's like having a counselor at your fingertips. Call them at 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD. Let Golden Oak Lending help you, and if they can't close the loan, of course, the appraisal is no charge. Again, call them at 314-567-GOLD.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
She has yet to RSVP her invite. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Christine Blasey Ford has
yet to respond to the offer to testify Monday at the Senate Judiciary Committee about her allegations Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh attacked and groped her at a party when they were teenagers in the 1980s.
I believe her. Many, many, many Americans believe her.
Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer wants an FBI investigation. Kavanaugh denies it, could testify Monday as well. Republican Senator Susan Collins says,
if Judge Kavanaugh has lied about what happened, that would be disqualified.
President Trump will go to North Carolina tomorrow to survey flood damage from Hurricane Florence, blamed for 32 deaths. Fox's Evan Brown's live in Wilmington.
Now, Dave, the Cape Fear River is expected to crest today, and that brings new risks of flooding to downtown Wilmington. Other parts of the state are worried about the same thing, Governor Roy Cooper.
13 more rivers are forecast to reach major or moderate flood stage. Please don't make yourself someone who needs to be rescued.
And despite being isolated by submerged roadways, FEMA sent the Army to deliver food and tarps to Wilmington. They'll distribute them to residents today, Dave.
Evan, Moscow is blaming Israel after Syrian anti-aircraft missiles shot down a Russian plane, killing all 15 people on board. Russia claims Israeli fighter jets attacking targets in Syria use it as a shield. Now, Israel disputes that, saying Syria is responsible, also blaming Iran and Hezbollah. North Korea's leaders giving President Trump credit for stabilizing the region as Kim Jong-un meets with South Korea's President Moon Jae-in. He's trying to get Kim to follow through giving up nuclear weapons. At the Emmys on NBC, a show that's not on TV won the most awards. 5. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, streamed on Amazon, was Outstanding Comedy Series. Game of Thrones got Top Drama. And Henry Winkler, who never won for Fonzie and Happy Days, got the supporting role Emmy in Barry.
Kids, Jed, Zoe, and Max, you can go to bed now. Daddy won!
Fox News, fair and balanced.
Doctor, award-winning chief medical correspondent, and Salon Pass user, Dr. Bob Arnott.
For pain relief, the best solution may surprise you. I found that Salon Pa's Lidocaine Plus works best for my pain. It's powerful, available without a prescription, and uses 2 anesthetics to numb nerves right where it hurts. It starts to work on contact, providing effective, lasting pain relief I can count on.
Salon Pass, in the silver box with the blue wave.
When posting on most job sites, you get candidates.
I'm the sales director you're looking for.
But when you post on Indeed.com, you get the candidates just right for you.
I'm a sales director with an MBA, over 10 years experience, who's also fluent in Japanese.
With Indeed, you can add screener questions for a less time-consuming route to your short list of qualified candidates.
Arigato.
Hiring's better when you've got your short list. Save time on hiring when you post a job on Indeed. Get started today at Indeed.com/hire.
97.1 News Time, 8:03. I'm Denise Schaefer. Here's the official forecast from Dave Murray. Mostly sunny and hot today, high of 92. Clear, mild tonight, low around 70. Then sunny and hot again tomorrow with a high of 95. It's 92 degrees right now. Missouri's U.S. Senators want a review of sexual misconduct allegations made against Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. Senator Roy Blunt said the committee should examine the claims before any further action is taken, and Senator Claire McCaskill said she is troubled by the allegations. Kavanaugh denies the claims he sexually assaulted a woman more than 30 years ago when they were in high school. Schnucks agrees to buy 19 Shop and Save grocery stores. The process of closing the stores and rebranding them will begin on October 7th, and it's expected to be completed by late October. 14 of the stores are in Missouri, 5 are in Illinois. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and bars in St. Louis County. The judge ruled the ballot language violated the county charter because it didn't disclose what sections of existing law would be amended or repealed. A separate ballot proposal remains on the ballot that would require St. Louis County's 2 casinos to make at least half of their gaming floors smoke-free. An appeals court has upheld the dismissal of a lawsuit filed to stop a law that would expand Medicaid and state funding to cover abortions. The 3-judge panel ruled that Sangamon County judge correctly dismissed the lawsuit filed by anti-abortion groups. The case is expected to be appealed to the Illinois Supreme Court. This report brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The Sun, you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms. 97.1 News Time, 8:04. It's 72 degrees. Sports is brought to you by Community Mortgage, lending with extraordinary service. Call Michael Mohan at 314-336-6000 or visit communitymortgagestl.com. The Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 in Atlanta last night. Colton Wong, Paul DeYoung, Harrison Bader, and Yadier Molina all hit home runs. Starter Miles Michaelis allowed 4 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings for his 3rd straight win. The Cardinals are now a half game ahead of Colorado for that second National League wildcard spot. The series continues tonight at 6:35. This report brought to you by SmartMouth. Bad breath is bad business. The real cause of bad breath is sulfur gas. SmartMouth is on shelves at drugstores and supercenters. Never have bad breath. SmartMouth.com. 97.1 News Time, 8:05. It's 72 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
We've got sunshine slowdowns this morning for eastbound drivers. So eastbound 70, it's a slow go. Lake St. Louis Boulevard through Highway K. Then it jams again approaching 94 through the Rock Road. Eastbound 6440, some slow spots through Chesterfield Valley, really heavy at Clarkson, and then slow again 270 through Big Bend. Slow pockets on eastbound 364 as well. Westbound 270 lined up now, headed for 367 past West Florissant. 40 eastbound slow again 270 through Big Bend. Northbound 270 stacked up 55 through Manchester. Eastbound 44 jams at 270 and again at Laclede Station Road. We had an earlier stall northbound 55 near Bayless. Most of the volume now, the heaviest for 55 drivers, is on either side of 270. And the worst of it again this morning is for Illinois drivers. Westbound 64, just a solid parking lot jam from 25th Street to the 55 merge. We also had a report of an incident, an accident involving a couple of cars westbound 64 at the 25th Street ramp. So watch out there. All the bridges downtown are jammed, and northbound Route 3 is a slow go headed for 55. Traffic brought to you by RP Lumber, best service, best value. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:06.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's 8:07 and 72 degrees, and FM News Talk 97.1 is now available on radio.com. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Well, sometimes you just feel exhausted. Sometimes you have trouble sleeping here and there. Everybody goes through that occasionally. But if it is an ongoing problem, if falling asleep at night is a problem, if you wake up in the middle of the night, if, you can have a variety of sleep disorders. And until you go talk to somebody like Dr. Joe Ogile, you just don't know that there are answers for you out there. Beyond pills, there are a variety of different treatments. You need to go talk to Dr. Joe and let him walk you through this. Insomnia is a persistent problem of falling asleep and staying asleep. If you're one of those people who's up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning, night after night after night, you're exhausted. You're falling asleep at your desk. Here's what they'll do for you at Clayton Sleep. The Clayton Sleep Institute deals with this. They're here to help you. Maybe it's a sleep study they need to do with you where you go in to their beautiful facility. They put a couple of diodes on you. They wire you up and you go to sleep, and they monitor you while you're sleeping. That's how I was diagnosed with sleep apnea. I've had that addressed, and I sleep soundly now. I'm able to get into that great REM sleep. It makes a huge difference to how you feel the next day. CSI can diagnose and treat a full range of adult and pediatric sleep disorders. You don't have to live that way anymore. Go to ClaytonSleep.com or call them at 314-645-5855.
Hey guys, Glover here for my very good friends at Window World. Man, these guys have been with me for a long time, and I am so proud and privileged to represent them. Every year we get together, usually once a year. A couple good North County boys own the Window World here in town, and I say, who's your big competition? And this latest time they looked at each other and smiled, and they said, Dave, we really don't have a lot of competition. The guys, the solo guys riding around in their truck, God love them, with a magnetic sign on the side of their pickup, but no big companies because we're just that good. Whatever rating agency you go to, they're just so highly rated. They are absolutely dedicated to customer service. They do these fantastic replacement windows. They're so durable, you can actually stand on them. That's one of the kind of little gimmicks that they have. So call them. Make sure you mention me to get the very best of everything. 314-993-1800 or windowworldstl.com. 314-993-1800.
Hey, Brad, that ring you got Julie was twice the size you told me you were looking at.
I know, but I could afford it. I went to Diamonds Direct and got 5 years, 0 interest financing.
You can do that? Finance an engagement ring for 5 years with no interest?
Yeah, and no money down.
Can I do it for a big pair of diamond stud earrings for Courtney?
Yeah, everything's included. It's crazy.
Diamonds Direct, with 5 years, 0 interest on any purchase for a limited time. Don't miss it. On approved credit. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
This hour of the Marc Cox Show brought to you by Q in the Lou, September 21st through 23rd. Get all the details at qinthelou.com.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Could you whisper in my ear the things you want to feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up on your own? I wonder where you are.
All right, and you both dated him. You know, I'm sure he dated several people. Most people do through high school and college. So Maura Fitzgerald, you know, was he ever physically aggressive to you? What was he like as a boyfriend?
No, he was nothing but kind and polite and respectful. I dated him. I've known him since high school. I dated him briefly in college, and we've remained close friends ever since. I cherish his friendship. He has just been such a stand-up guy, full of integrity. I admire him. He never exhibited to me or anyone else that I know, not with anything, treated no one with disrespect.
There's going to be a hearing. I'm hoping that Maura Fitzgerald and Maura Kane, who were commenting on Martha McCallum's show last night, are called in to testify. Why is their testimony not just as important as some, recently remembered from a dream thing that somebody thinks happened 35 or 36 years ago? They dated the guy. They know his character. But something strikes me that Chuck Schumer and the other members of the Senate Judiciary Committee don't have any interest in hearing from them because it doesn't further their attempt to muck up the gears and prevent him from getting on the United States Supreme Court. It's an embarrassment. Hey, welcome back into the Marc Cox Morning Show. Glad that you're with us today. We've got that. We've got Chris Arps coming up here shortly. We need to talk more about the president ordering the release of emails and text messages dealing with the Carter Page investigation, which is going to speak directly to the FISA warrant and the contents of it and just how much of it was based on false information. We're about to get to the bottom of this, folks, I hope. And it's kind of getting covered up in the news cycle, which is discouraging. So we're going to get to all of that and more coming up here shortly. Good morning, ladies. What's going on?
Not much.
You doing all right?
Morning. Yeah, doing great.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that.
You doing all right?
I'm doing good.
Good.
There's just so much going on. We're just rocking and rolling. We're moving along.
It's been a fast couple days.
Let me get to my guest. He is attorney Andrew Schlafly and a friend of the program here. And Andy, I was glad to see you the other night at the Eagle Council.
It was terrific seeing you, Mark, and thanks for having me on your show.
Well, it's a thrill to have you back on. I had you on a couple of times when we were still trying to figure out who the nominee might be for the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh was the pick, and clearly the left is not going to stop until they have savaged this man's reputation.
That's right, Mark, because Brett Kavanaugh is such a superb pick. He's such a strong conservative. The liberals are pulling out all the stops and coming up with the most ridiculous allegations that they can possibly find. Of course, the left is under pressure themselves because a lot of these candidates, like Feinstein herself, has a progressive challenger, and they're under pressure to do anything they possibly can to stop this nomination. But this is just over the top. This is just absurd. This is the theater of the absurd is what we're seeing here in the Senate.
I think back to the Clarence Thomas nomination hearing in 1991. I actually, to refresh my memory, went back and watched as much of it as I could stomach last night. Similar but different circumstance because the allegations were more recent. There had been an FBI investigation, but the testimony to the FBI was different than the testimony Anita Hill gave in the publicized, televised Senate hearings. But at the same time, the candidate flatly denied all of it. So all it ended up being was a circus, and in the end, all it did was slander Clarence Thomas's reputation.
Right, and that's a disgrace to allow that sort of spectacle to happen to a good man. Of course, one silver lining for us is once Brett Kavanaugh gets through this and is confirmed by the Senate, it's not going to make him any more liberal. He's going to be as conservative as ever, just as Clarence Thomas was after he went through that ordeal.
You and I talked about that, the kind of jurist that that Kavanaugh is and will be. And I got online last night. I was doing some preparations for the show this morning, and some pop-up ad pops up talking about how dangerous Brett Kavanaugh is, and he was only appointed by this president to try to destroy health care in this country. That was his sole purpose. I mean, I can't believe some of the things they're saying about the kind of judgments Brett Kavanaugh has made since he's been on the bench.
That's right. There's no factual truth to much of what the other side says, but they're desperate, Mark. They're desperate. And what they're trying to do is delay this past the election, and it's just a stunt, and I think it could backfire on them, frankly.
Well, I hope so. I do, because I think we're going to go into this hearing. You know, both sides will be loaded for bear. I'm a little disappointed that Grassley is giving the left what it wants on a silver platter here, but I think the president has handled it well so far.
I think so, and I'm a little disappointed, too, that Grassley gave him so much time. But Grassley's been good to our side. He's held good hearings in the past, and he has moved this nomination along. I suspect he felt he had no choice, given that we've got some of these weak-kneed Republicans in there. Got people like Jeff Flake, who's more interested in criticizing the president of his own party than standing up for the pro-life principles that he was elected on. We've got Susan Collins, who wanted to have a hearing. So the problem, Mark, is that there are enough weak Republicans who wanted this hearing that I think Grassley felt he had to have it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Well, listen, Andy, I appreciate your input on this today. And when the next Supreme Court justice candidate gets picked, which I'm hoping the president gets one more, maybe this term, we'll have you on again to talk about who the best candidates are for that one.
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. That is Andrew Schlafly, attorney, of course, son of Phyllis Schlafly. I had a chance to spend some time with him this weekend at the Eagle Council. That was fantastic. All right. Quick break. 314-241-9797. Congratulations to Rich, our listener who won the Dire Straits Legacy tickets. Will be giving away a pair every day this week. Listen, if you hear anything on the air, you want to hear it again, we stream everything there on the website at 971talk.com/Cox. You can always go to the Facebook page, The Marc Cox Show on Facebook, and give us a like. We're back in a minute with Chris Arps.
This is the Marc Cox Morning Show. Follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/The Marc Cox Show.
.97.1 News Time, 8:18. It's 75 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. Cigna gets approval from the U.S. Department of Justice to buy St. Louis-based Express Scripts for $54 billion. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and many bars in St. Louis County. Several lawsuits have been filed against the city of St. Louis and city police for violating protesters' rights during the Jason Stockley verdict. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. This report brought to you by Chesterfield Fence and Deck, the sign you have the very best in fences, decks, patios, and sunrooms. 97.1 News Time, 8:19. It's 75 degrees.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Well, a report that the ramp from westbound 70 to Berkshire is shut down. Could be an accident through there. We've had sunshine slowdowns for eastbound drivers today on 70 and 64. Still a little slow in O'Fallon, and then most of the volume for 70 drivers is 141 through the Rock Road. Looking better for 40 drivers through Chesterfield Valley. Pretty slow, though, at Clarkson and then Lindbergh through Big Bend. Eastbound 44 slows at 270, again at Laclede Station Road. Northbound 270 still stacked up, 55 through Manchester. We've got westbound 270 lined up from, looks like Bell Fountain now, through West Florissant. Eastbound 270 slowing at Lindbergh. And, of course, a hideous jam on the Illinois side. Westbound 64 back to 25th Street. In fact, it's past there, not quite to 111, but almost. And an accident reported in the middle there near 25th Street. Then it's slow on all of the bridges downtown, and northbound Route 3 jams at the 55 merge as well. Traffic brought to you by Meineke. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:20.
Hi, I'm Doug Miller, president of Miller Pro CPAs and Business Advisors. As a business owner, I understand the challenges faced when it comes to managing a business. From startup to exit planning, we help you maintain a competitive advantage throughout your business life cycle. Let our team of accountants, former business owners, executives, and engineers help you with all your tax, audit, accounting, and consulting needs. Call Miller Pros today at 314-862-2070 or visit us online at millerpros.com. That's 314-862-2070.
Well, I learned when I was shopping for carpet that carpets these days are different. They're not your parents' carpet anymore. In many cases, to keep the warranty intact, you have to get them professionally cleaned every 12 to 18 months. You need to do that. If you're not doing it, you're not doing what's in the best interest of your carpet. And let's face it, you pay a lot of money to get carpet put in a house. So True Clean Carpet can help you out with that. And here's why I like True Clean. They came to my house. They cleaned our steps. They cleaned the upstairs in our house where we have carpeting that we had put in probably about a year ago, right, from Michael's flooring outlet. And True Clean Carpet doesn't use shampoo. They don't use detergents. And the difference is those leave residue. And if you talk to Steve, the owner over there, he's going to tell you, and you can read the testimonials on their website, right? These are people that they understand how to get carpets clean, and when you put too much water and detergent and shampoo on it, you can't get it all out. So then it picks up flecks of dirt and it gets dirty faster, and you got the same problem all again much quicker. True Clean Carpet comes in. They don't use any shampoos. They use a green steam clean process that also allows it to dry in just 1 to 2 hours. That was our experience. It was fantastic. You can go to Customer Lobby. It's an independent evaluation company. Over 1,300 reviews. Don't take my word for it. Check it out yourself. They're going to give you a couple rooms of Scotchgard free or a pet odor treatment free when you mention that you heard it on the Marc Cox Morning Show. You can also take advantage of that 4-area special for only $139. Call them. 314-427-9500 or go to their website at truecleancarpet.com.
Hi, Sean Long for STL Fenceworks. The secret formula to our success is the marriage of quality products and workmanship with next-level service unseen in our industry, all at a competitive price. These are characteristics that informed and diligent customers seek out, and our competitors cannot duplicate. When you think vinyl fence, think STL Fenceworks. We custom fabricate our own vinyl fence and gates to meet your needs. When you think aluminum and steel ornamental fence, think STL Fenceworks. We purchase truckload quantities, passing the savings on to you. Decks? STL Fenceworks is the largest wholesaler of Wolf cellular PVC decking products in the Midwest. Wolf has proven to exceed the quality and warranty of any other synthetic decking product, and our craftsmen will bring your vision to life. STL Fenceworks is the confluence of quality, service, and affordability. That's value. Give us the opportunity, and we will exceed your expectations. At STL Fenceworks, your satisfaction is our passion.
Hi, I'm Charles D'Angelo, weight loss coach and author of the best-selling book, Think and Grow Thin. I coach people from all walks of life. Listen to my client Rick Stevens, president of Christian Hospital, share his 60-pound weight loss success on Show Me St. Louis.
You're the president of Christian Hospital, so I'm going to assume you're a pretty busy guy.
Correct.
How does this plan work into your routine?
Actually, it's pretty easy. What I'm eating are things that I can eat all the time. It really didn't interfere with the job.
You're surrounded by doctors and all these health professionals. What was it that Charles did differently that kind of pushed you to lose the weight?
I think when you have an accountability partner like Charles, that's the big difference. And so somebody you can check in with, somebody that's encouraging you, and especially when he's had a lot of success from others as well.
Had you tried other things in the past to lose weight, or this is really the first time that you thought, you know what?
Oh, yeah. I've tried a lot of things to lose weight, but I tell you, this is the plan that actually works.
Schedule your free consultation today at charlesdangelo.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app, available on your smartphone in the App Store. Take us with you and never miss the news and opinion from 97.1. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I don't know if you've seen it, but The Handmaid's Tale takes place in an imaginary future where an entire group of people are violently forced to work and make babies against their will. It's what black people call history. So
that's kind of funny.
They brought in the folks from SNL to. I wanted to gauge your reaction. They brought in the folks from SNL to try to liven up the Emmys last night. I mean, I wouldn't have watched if somebody put a gun to my head and forced me, but
that was
still,
that was kind of funny.
Some of it was kind of offensive.
You know, a very popular radio host, national host, always says that good comedy always has a little bit of truth in it.
Okay, play the other one that we got. See what he thinks about this, please.
Which one are we talking about?
The one where the guy talked about Jesus.
Okay.
Or praying.
You know who's not? But my mother's not watching.
What?
Well, she said she doesn't like watching white award shows because you guys don't thank Jesus enough. That's true. The only white people that thank Jesus are Republicans and ex-crackheads. So
that's lame.
I thought that was kind of lame.
That
right?
was funny.
Plus, there are no Republicans at that award show, probably. So, you know, there wouldn't be anybody
First joke
there.
was funny. The second one, that was.
There are a lot of
lame.
crackheads in L.A.,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Not that I know
a lot of crackheads
personally.
everywhere. We forgot to play his theme song.
I tried to play it.
Did you
and
try to
then-
play it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Sorry.
Ship has sailed.
I was gonna say, did we get it twice today? Oh.
No.
See what happens on the other side of this break, sir.
We got about a minute and a half before we go
Yes,
to
sir.
break here. Do you want to promote this money that you're giving away?
Yeah, I do. If any folks out there want to get some exercise and want to make $9 and up doing some political work, please drop me a line at Christopher_Arps@hotmail.com. And this is political work, $9 an hour, paid weekly and up. Call me.
$9 and up.
$9 an hour and up.
So
yes.
if they've got a lot of experience handing out literature, you'll pay them 10?
If I like them, I'll
Oh, I see. Okay, it's good. So Chris_Arps@hotmail.com. I'm just trying to help out
I was
here.
going to say, are there bribes or what's going on
Bring
here?
him treats, give him high fives on the daily.
So who are
Good
you?
nobody's
Who are you
listening.
doing the work for? Who are you campaigning
This is for Faith and Freedom Coalition,
Oh, okay.
and we're going to be passing out voter value guides for Josh Hawley in
Good.
Springfield, St. Louis, and Kansas City.
Interesting.
Yes.
Voter value. So in other words, look at this. What are your values? Who you voting for? Kind of thing. I went to the Eagle Council Eagle Summit this weekend, and I sat next to a guy. I might even have his card here, and he works for the Republicans, and he was the director of Catholic engagement for the Republican National Committee, and his job is to go out and engage people who were, Catholic to vote their values, because that's a big debate within the Catholic Church. I'm sure it's a debate within the Jewish community in terms of how people vote. So.
Well, when I worked for Senator Jim Talon, we had a person, Peggy Barnhart. That's what she did, was reach out to Catholics first, and then they expanded it to other religious groups. So,
well, good.
That's something that's done.
Good luck with that.
We're a Big Ten in the Republican Party, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, 314-241-9797. Chris is going to hang around and chat with us, so we haven't really gotten into the Kavanaugh thing yet, but we obviously need to talk about that when we come back. We'll talk about a little criminal justice reform in action in St. Louis City politics. It's all coming up right here on the Marc Cox Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Bork you.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
I'm Jennifer Kishinka with Your Money Now. While Apple and the smartwatch business is safe from the latest tariffs the Trump administration enacted against China, there are many other potential areas of tech that could be hurt by the levies on $200 billion in Chinese goods. Smartwatches and wireless earbuds were removed from the list at the 11th hour, but other products such as transmission devices, digital cameras, and printed circuit assemblies are among the broader technologies still subject to tariffs. A school-based survey shows nearly 1 in 11 students have used marijuana in electronic cigarettes, heightening concern about the new popularity of vaping among teens. E-cigarettes typically contain nicotine, but results of the survey mean 2.1 million middle and high school students have used them to get high. The rise in teenagers using them has alarmed health officials last week. The FDA gave the 5 largest e-cigarette makers 60 days to produce plans to stop underage use of their products. On Wall Street, futures slightly higher. That's Your Money Now.
My number 2 does not look like a number 2. I don't know what to call it. Is there a number 3?
Table for 4, please. Anything close to the restroom.
Oh, a middle seat with these stomach problems? That's my fear of flying.
Sound like you? If it does, you could be one of the many people with a digestive condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. Even if you don't know what EPI is, you might know the symptoms. Frequent diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain. If you have even just one of these symptoms, you could still have EPI. Because not everybody experiences EPI the same way, which is why it's so important to open up to your doctor about all your symptoms. And the good news is, EPI is manageable, so don't keep a lid on it. Go to identifyepi.com, complete the symptom checker, and use it to have a conversation with your doctor. Don't keep a lid on it. Visit identifyepi.com. Brought to you by AbbVie.
Your Money Matters, brought to you by Fisher Window and Door Store, your dealer for Marvin Windows and Doors in the St. Louis region. FisherWindow.com. Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Traffic is lined up, especially for Illinois drivers. If you're headed in today, no surprise, we've got a jam on westbound 64 that starts, and it's approaching 25th Street. We had an accident near there, and then it's a jam on all the bridges downtown. Now we have an accident at southbound 170. This one is approaching Delmar. Watch for that one in the right lane. Eastbound 6440 drivers still battling that bright sunshine. A little bit of volume. It's really heavy at Clarkson, and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. Northbound 270 is stacked up north of 55 through Manchester. Eastbound 44 is slow go at Laclede Station Road. Eastbound 70, most of the volume now is Blanchette Bridge through 270. And westbound 270 is slow go, mainly at 367. Traffic brought to you by Indeed. Used by over 3 million businesses for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates in an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:33.
Hey, the folks at Hanson's Tree Service do a great job for you. You need to go out there and talk to Chad, and if you've got a tree emergency, they can deal with that. They're really good at it. They've got people who are will get there in a hurry. They'll take care of the problem. They can even get the stump out of the ground. Let's assume the wind has blown it over. You just got a dead tree that's fallen over. They can take care of jobs like that. What they're really good at is coming out with an arborist who understands trees a whole lot better than 95% of us, and they can look at your yard and decide which trees probably need to be pruned. We're getting into that time of the year when you might risk, with a heavy snowfall, losing some trees in your yard if they're too heavily canopied or there are too many branches. Talk to them now. Let them come out. The great thing about it is, with Hanson's, that stuff's always free. They're always going to give you a free estimate and tell you what your risk is of limb breakage during storms and the like. So call them for a free estimate. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau since 2014. Request your quote on their website at hansonstree.com.
According to the Dementia Society of America, it's believed that more than 9 million Americans live with some form of dementia. In addition, every 68 seconds, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. If you have a parent or loved one who is showing signs of dementia, don't miss our upcoming workshop, The 7 Critical Actions to Take in a Case of Dementia. Presented by Kevin Jameson, founder of the Dementia Society of America, and Don Quante, author of the best-selling book, Don't Go Broke in a Nursing Home. At this workshop, you'll learn what dementia is and how to tell if your loved one may have it. Learn the early signs and stages of dementia, what financial and legal concerns should be addressed today, and how paying for dementia care can wipe out your savings and what to do about it. For reservations, call 800-924-8910. That's 800-924-8910. The number again, 800-924-8910.
Watch the Marc Cox Show live on the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox. Log on to our website or use your mobile device to join the daily live stream and watch the show. It's the Granite Transformation Studio Cam at 971talk.com/Cox.
Wondering if you're paying too much for auto insurance? It's easy to find out at AAA.com/insurance. You could save an average of $447. So stop wondering, start saving. Visit AAA.com/insurance for your free quote.
When you meet someone new, one of the first things you notice about them is their smile. It is true, a dazzling white smile makes a big difference in the way we see others and how we feel about ourselves. Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Omis with Advanced Dentistry of St. Charles. If you are not confident with your smile, you may feel pressure to hide it, and when you hide your smile, you hide an important side of yourself. For some, achieving a great smile can be as easy as whitening the teeth, but if you suffer from crooked teeth, spacing, severely worn or chipped teeth, or unnatural-looking dental work, my office offers several options that can help you get the smile of your dreams. Our fast braces can align your teeth and close spacing in just a matter of weeks, and the latest in ceramic materials and technology can recreate beautiful, natural-looking teeth in the hands of a dentist properly trained in laser and cosmetic dentistry. To learn more about how we can enhance your smile, visit advanceddentistrynow.com or call 636-978-0226 today for a complimentary consultation.
Honey, it's time. We can't put it off another year. If you've heard this from your spouse lately, then you've probably spent some time outside lamenting the condition of your home. Unattractive siding, old drafty windows. If you can't stand another season with these, call Banner Construction today. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor, which means we have the expertise to properly install top quality James Hardie fiber cement siding on any home. When you hire Banner, you're not just purchasing products. You're investing in 25 years of home improvement expertise with a company that cares about the final result. Banner also installs James Hardie's Beechworth windows. Beechworth windows are beautiful wood windows with maintenance-free exteriors. Compare to Marvin, Pella, or Renewal by Anderson, and you'll see that Beechworth has the best features from each brand, all in one incredible window. Don't put it off another day. Call Banner Construction at 314-569-1050. And have a banner day. Call 314-569-1050.
Marc Cox. Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
A man that would risk his neck for his brother, man.
Can you dig it? This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
I'm your Huckleberry.
All right. Welcome back in. You know, One of our astute callers, Chris,
yes,
pointed out that if you're looking for money, we still have $120,000 missing.
Oh,
and unaccounted for.
I'm gonna have to figure something out with that.
Can you help us find that?
Yeah, I'm on
okay,
that.
That's good.
I'm on that.
Get right on that, please. Let's go door to door and ask. And we'll start at Al Watkins' door.
Or in a particular neighborhood, probably?
Yeah, maybe. That could be. I don't know.
You're just not going to let that go, are you?
I am never, ever going to let that go because that's just rotten. And, here we got another witch hunt going on in D.C. right now. This thing with Brett Kavanaugh is disturbing on so many levels because, I remember, and I'm sure you remember, the Clarence Thomas hearings all those years ago, and Judge Thomas is still hacked off about what they did to him.
I think that this today is a travesty. I think that it is disgusting. I think that this hearing should never occur in America. This is a case in which this sleaze, this dirt, was searched for by staffers of members of this committee, was then leaked to the media, and this committee and this body validated it and displayed it at prime time over our entire nation.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
This was actually the first Supreme Court hearing that I watched all the way through, and I've been watching them ever since. It kind of gave me the interest in them. But when this whole allegation came out against Kavanaugh, I was like, this is deja vu. They ain't even trying to hide it. They're going back to the same playbook that they used for Justice Thomas. How in the world 36-year-old allegations, he say, she say, no corroborating witnesses. How are you going to come to some type of conclusion with that? Or how is she going to prove that he did this?
And we're all such, first of all, just like Tricia said yesterday, although she wouldn't say it on the air, I'll say it for her.
Easy. Hold on. Wait a minute.
If this happened, it's unacceptable behavior. Yes. It is unacceptable behavior. That, There's no doubt about that. But right now, like you said, it's he said, she said. It's the 36-year-old allegation where it came from a repressed memory, and the woman can't remember where the house was. We don't know if the house even existed. We don't know if the party ever took place. We don't know if Brett Kavanaugh was there because when she came through with this repressed memory, she didn't mention anybody by name, and she claimed there were 4 people there. So who the hell knows what she's made up here? But the point is there no cutoff? Like, what is it? Is it grade school? Is it middle school? Is it is it on the playground at recess? How far back can somebody go to make some outrageous allegation to slander a good man like Brett Kavanaugh? Let me get to Mark here on line 1. Mark, what's on your mind?
Well, one thought that I had was that it seems to me that the alleged participants in all of this, or actors, were all under 18. They were all not adults in the eyes of the law, as I understand it, across the whole country, wherever this happened. And I just think there's a different category of thought that goes on when people are under 18. The threshold of full responsibility is 18, with my understanding of this. And I don't even know if these people were 17 or were they 16. I have heard different reports about that, but I think there should be an additional measure of sensitivity given when people being involved are in, you could even call them children, in some boxes they would be called children. The other thought that I had, and the last thought I had, was to the people, Kavanaugh or Ford or these people are in front of the committee, I would like to know, was Ford drinking at the time? How much had she had? What had she been having? Did she go to this party to drink? Who did she go with? Were there people in a car driving her, or did she drive Stagg to the party? I think all these details need to come out, because if everybody there was sloshed, then who remembers what?
Mark,
there's a lot to understand about this.
Yeah, all good questions, and I appreciate that. Here's also what's changed since 1991. Arlen Specter took a lot of heat.
Yeah, I remember that.
He took a lot of heat for how hard, in the manner in which he questioned in Anita Hill.
Professor Hill, you said that you took it to mean
that Judge Thomas wanted to have sex with you, but in fact, he never did ask you to have sex, correct?
No, he did not ask me to have sex. He did continually pressure me to go out with him, continually, and he would not accept my explanation as one as being valid.
So Specter went on and pointed out to her that what you told the FBI is different than what you're saying now. And the judge completely denies that any of this ever happened. In today's environment, the hashtag #MeToo time, right, or whatever you want to refer to the hashtag, it's you can't. Whoever's doing the questioning is going to be under the spotlight of everybody in America for being too harsh on this woman who's been called to testify. If they push her at all on her memories, they're all going to get screamed at and accused of being sexist.
Mm-hmm. And, Mark, being an old political operative, I don't believe that this Hail Mary by the Democrats in the fourth quarter is designed to derail his nomination. I think they're trying to give cover to vulnerable Democrats like Claire McCaskill and Tester and all these guys so they can say, well, I am not going to vote for him now because I'm disturbed about these allegations that I've heard, so I'm not going to vote for him. This is cover for them not to vote for him more than thinking that they're going to derail his nomination, in my opinion.
I think you're right. I think that they see a possibility, because I heard Chuck Schumer say it, I played it earlier, to regain the Senate. Not just the House, but the Senate. To do that, they've got to gin up their base somehow, and this is the ace they had in their hole. They've been waiting, and they pulled it out and played it with 3 days to go before the vote on his nomination.
And I also think this is the reason why we could never get Claire McCaskill to commit if she was going to vote for Kavanaugh or not, because she knew they were going to throw this 2-minute fourth quarter Hail Mary.
I think they all knew it was coming.
Exactly.
And they'd never admit to it because Feinstein's taken enough grief for not acting on it sooner if it was really an emergency. All right.
And what I've said, politics is dirty. I know that. Nothing really surprises me. But this is like really, really dirty. What they're doing to Kavanaugh, destroying his reputation and all this, and for so they can save vulnerable Democrats.
Well, they tried it with Clarence Thomas.
Yeah,
he's still hacked about that. And
don't blame him.
You can't blame him. You can't blame him at all. All right, let me get to a break here. 314-241-9797. Just listen to this on the way out.
Senator, I would like to start by saying unequivocally, uncategorically, that I deny each and every single allegation against me today.
97.1 News Time, 8:47. It's 77 degrees. I'm Denise Schaefer, and here are a few of the local stories we're following this morning. A judge has removed a proposition from the November ballot that would ban smoking in casinos and many bars in St. Louis County. Cigna gets approval from the U.S. Department of Justice to buy St. Louis-based Express Scripts for $54 billion. In sports, the Cardinals beat the Braves 11-6 last night. They play tonight at 6:35. This report brought to you by RP Lumber. Best service, best value. 97.1 News Time, 8:47.
Traffic from the Deck and Patio Living Traffic Center.
Accident southbound 170 approaching Delmar. It started in the right lane. We've got a jam behind that. The other heaviest volume is on the Illinois side. Westbound 64 back near 25th Street before you even get to the 5570 merge. A jam on the bridges downtown headed in from Illinois. We still have some slow-moving traffic on northbound 270, mainly between 21 and Big Bend. Accident reported eastbound 44 as you head toward Laclede Station Road. Eastbound 6440, just a little slow at Timberlake Manor, and then east of Lindbergh through Big Bend. Just moderate volume for westbound 270 drivers in North County right now. And eastbound 70, a little bit slow at 270. Traffic brought to you by Meineke. With services from oil change to brake repair, the team at Meineke has you covered. And right now, get a basic oil change for only $19.95. Meineke, on with life. I'm Sue Thomas with traffic. 97.1 News Time is 8:48.
Hey, the last retirement educational event, Protecting Your Retirement Educational Event of the year is coming up October 9th at 6:30. So you got plenty of time. Put it on the calendar now. Plan to go. It's free. You're even going to get a snack out of the deal and something cold to drink. It's at the Frontenac Hilton. I'll be there along with Thomas Helbig. Marc Cox is going to join us. He's going to grace us with his presence there, tell a few funny stories about his many years in the radio business, I'm sure. So you'll get a chance to meet us, but here's the reason you're there. Thomas Helbig is going to educate you. Thomas Helbig is going to tell you why, in his 25 years of experience in this business, he knows how to help people who are looking at retirement, staring it down the throat, and want to make sure that it's all they're planning for, that they know what regular income looks like, that they have a strategy in place to protect what they've built in volatile times, because we'll see more of those. Historically, they happen every few years. You see market ups and downs. In retirement, that can affect your monthly income. Thomas knows how to control that for you. Why would you not want to have more information as opposed to less? So you show up Tuesday, October 9th, 6:30 at the Frontenac Hilton. All they want to know is that you're coming, so they can reserve a spot for you. It doesn't cost a thing. Bring a friend. Call at 855-755-1555, 855-755-1555, or go to their website at retirementkey.com.
Does your home have windows that stick, or maybe floors that sag? What about cracks in your walls? If your home has any of these signs, the windows, floors, and walls may not be the problem. It may be your foundation. The good news? We know how to fix foundation problems permanently. To learn how, call us today for a free, no-obligation inspection.
Call Woods at 888-908-4637. Woods Basement Systems, the highest-rated, most reviewed contractor for basement waterproofing, crawl space, and foundation repairs. Find us at woodsrocks.com.
Hey, it's weight loss coach Charles D'Angelo. Listen to my client, Denise Blair, talk about her 70-pound weight loss success on Show Me St. Louis.
I've tried everything. I've tried acupuncture. I've tried hypnosis. I've tried all the big names, everything. Nothing has worked but Charles.
Really?
Amen. Yes, amen.
And so you started this in January and have already lost 70
January
pounds.
2nd was my initial consultation with Charles when he gave me my program. It's like, you can do it. Anybody can do it. He's great, and it's not a diet. Everybody says, oh, how's your diet going? You know what? It's not a diet. It's a mind change. And I sat in Charles' chair, and he looked me in the eye, and he said 3 times, Denise, you can do it. You can do it. And you know what? I thought, well, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
End the struggle of emotional eating and schedule your free consultation at charlesdangelo.com.
Snoring. It's hard to ignore, yet so many women do. Ugh. If you sleep with a guy who snores, you know. They snore, we ignore. The real problem. Snoring can be a sign of a serious medical issue, sleep apnea. Sending your man to the couch isn't the answer. Renew Sleep Solutions is. Their compact, comfortable, FDA-cleared device is custom fit to treat sleep apnea. To learn more, call 314-279-9000 or visit renewsleep.com.
The only way you can take FM News Talk 97.1 with you is the radio.com app. Available on your smartphone in the App Store. Download the radio.com app today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
FM News Talk 97.1. This is the Marc Cox Morning Show.
Talking to you, I have smelled alcohol on your breath.
Chris, I have to say, you've been talking to me about some very serious stuff,
Yes.
but I've had trouble concentrating on anything other than the fact that you have a blue tongue from that cookie cake that you ate earlier.
I didn't notice.
Let's see it.
Look, show him.
I'm kind of concerned you're looking at my mouth.
Well,
like that.
but I'm trying to listen to you here. I'm trying to
Is it just
pay
me?
attention.
Is it just me, or does ACD songs all sound like Giving the Dog a Bone?
Not all of them.
Okay.
But isn't it great music?
But all the songs sound like Giving the Dog a Bone. Giving the dog a bone. Play the music. I can get it. Giving the dog a bone. Giving the dog a bone. It's the same.
That song with that blue tongue, Chris.
Yeah.
Knocking it out of the park.
Bluetooth or blue tongue?
Blue tongue. It is, definitely. So we should probably mention that the cookie cake was brought in by Denise Schaefer because of left over from a birthday party this weekend, right?
Yes, Hannah had her birthday party with her friends over the weekend. So,
happy birthday to her.
Happy
This is
birthday to
birthday
Hannah.
season in your house, right?
Birthday Palooza, starts the 25th with my husband, and then Hannah's 2 days after that. Then my other daughter, and then my mom, my dad was My dad was earlier September.
Wow.
Did I hear you? No, never mind.
No. Don't worry, I won't be here on my birthday, so you can't hassle me anyway.
Don't think that this can't get you out of the gooey butter cake on mine, though.
Okay.
Never sure. I heard you talking about this on the Weekend Report this past weekend.
You listened?
Because I listened.
Wow.
When I texted you, I was listening to you.
I didn't know
when
that.
I texted you. So anyway, the Emmys were never going to go past without politics. They diss Trump and anybody who disagrees with the left. But I noticed that one of the actresses, and I can't think of her name, she's a comedian, she wore a Nike sweatshirt to this thing just to stab at anybody that disagrees with the whole Kaepernick thing. There's still people this weekend. I understand a couple of them, they just left them in the tunnel and they didn't even come out for the thing to try to avoid the controversy.
I think this is just about over.
Do you?
We had two players that protested, the same ones that did last year. I can't think of their names. But I was begging with the president Monday on a post, look, this seems to be kind of dying down. Please don't tweet or say anything about it. Just leave it alone and let it die a natural death, please. Please.
Yeah.
Pretty please. With sugar on top.
Obviously, Nike and Kaepernick aren't going to let it die a quiet death.
I finally saw the commercial a few days ago. It's not a bad commercial. I think you mentioned
take
that.
Take him out of it and
take
him out of it and put in it a veteran who you see walking down a street talking to you, and then as it pulls out, you see that he's walking on a couple of prosthetic legs, and then have him deliver the message, stand up for something, even if it means losing everything. That would have been powerful. Yeah. I just sent a chill down my own spine even saying it. But this is not powerful because Colin Kaepernick is a multimillionaire who didn't give up anything. He could have gone on any street corner and protested the 6 days a week he wasn't playing football, and he could have continued to play football if he was any good at it. But he turned down a couple of almost $1 million contracts because he didn't think it was enough money, and now he wants to blame the system for him not having a job.
I think that's called liberalism.
Yep, there you go.
That's a good definition.
We summed that up pretty well there, didn't we?
Perfect.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Chris Arch, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
The Weekend Report to 5 to 7 every Saturday with Chris and Tony.
And you actually listen?
And Zach Factor.
And you listen?
I do listen.
Great.
Absolutely. Hey, have a great day. Kilmeade's up next. And, of course, Annie Fry today, noon to 3.
If you own a home, listen up. Got your cell phone? Pick it up and get ready to save $100.
I'm listening.
Right now, Home Warranty of America will take $100 off their Premier or Premier Plus plan just for signing up. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and say the keyword HWA.
I have homeowners insurance. Why do I need a home warranty?
Because your insurance won't cover this.
Not the washer.
Or this. My microwave. Or any of this.
Whoa.
Be prepared, not surprised. With HWA, you get comprehensive repair and replacement coverage from normal wear and tear for the appliances you use every day. Plans start as low as $1.19 a day.
Now I'm really listening.
Then grab your cell phone.
Got it.
Dial pound 250.
Pound 250.
And say the keyword
HWA.
Get $100 off for signing up. Pound 250 HWA.
Limited time offer. 30-day wait period after contract start date. Terms and conditions apply.
Right now at Diamonds Direct, whether you buy a $3,000 diamond pendant or a $30,000 designer ring, you can spread your payments over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. It's Diamonds Direct's most aggressive offer ever. Pick any item, get the super low price Diamonds Direct is known for, and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest and 0 down. No exceptions. Don't miss this incredible limited time offer. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit only at Diamonds Direct.
Olive & 270 at City Place.
Hi, I'm Doug Miller, president of Miller Pro CPAs and Business Advisors. As a business owner, I understand the challenges faced when it comes to managing a business. From startup to exit planning, we help you maintain a competitive advantage throughout your business life cycle. Let our team of accountants, former business owners, executives, and engineers help you with all your tax, audit, accounting, and consulting needs. Call Miller Pros today at 314-862-2070 or visit us online at millerpros.com. That's 314-862-2070.
Hey folks, consider making your lovely home great again by transforming and complementing your home decor with the finest window fashion from Proctor Drapery. Of course, Michael Proctor's a great guy with exceptional expertise and interior designer, but what's more, he's personally available to you 7 days a week. You don't have to go shopping anywhere, and why would you? Important decisions on window treatments with Michael's expertise and talented eye can and should be made right in the comfort of your lovely home. You'll be excited to see your new look decor right then and there. And Michael offers all the varieties of decorative hardware, the latest gorgeous designer fabrics, luxurious, contemporary, classic. Proctor Drapery has served St. Louis's most gracious citizens since 1974, with the highest quality and value for custom drapery, blinds, shades, and shutters. Also a top-tier Hunter Douglas priority dealer and your first choice for Norman Plantation shutters. Schedule a fast, easy, and convenient appointment with Michael's mobile design unit. Visit ProctorDrapery.com. It's Proctor, spelled like doctor.
KFTK FM Florissant, KFTK AM East St. Louis, K254CR St. Louis.
The Marc Cox Show, brought to you by Thomas Helbig, the official St. Louis financial advisor of The Marc Cox Show.
Find everything Marc Cox at 971talk.com/Cox. FM News Talk, 97.1.
A radio.com station.
President Trump will take a trip to North Carolina tomorrow. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
He absolutely needs to come here. Our town is devastated.
Jay Bender's the mayor of Pollocksville.
We have no water, we have no sewer, and we've been told that we won't have power for 8 days.
And he says they don't have the staff or resources of other larger flooded communities in the state as rivers keep rising in some areas after Hurricane Florence, blamed for 32 deaths, dumped 3 feet of rain. Thousands of homes flooded and hundreds of roads remain underwater. Senators are still waiting to hear back from Brett Kavanaugh's accuser, invited to testify Monday before the Judiciary Committee. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee reached out to Christine Ford's lawyer last night to invite her to Monday's hearing. This is Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
These allegations ought to be treated with the utmost gravity.
Megan McCaleb has been friends with Judge Kavanaugh since high school.
Never out of control in any way and always treated women with respect.
Thursday's Judiciary Committee confirmation vote is being delayed, and it's not that Democrats could try to postpone the process further until there's a full FBI review of the matter, but Republicans don't have to agree to such a demand. Dave.
Rachel, President Trump has tweeted our farmers are patriots who know he's the only one who can stop China from attacking them and taking advantage of the U.S.-found trade. New tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese goods go into effect Monday. China says it'll retaliate. In Pyongyang, the North and South Korean leaders applauded as Kim Jong-un praises President Trump for stabilizing that region, though South Korean President Moon Jae-in is trying to get Kim to follow through on giving up nuclear weapons. In Massachusetts, frustration as people evacuated by gas leaks that caused dozens of homes to explode or catch fire last week try to get reimbursed for hotels and meals.
It's stressful. On my end, everyone's saying, don't you have any patience? I'm like, no, that ran out a few days ago.
And it turns out the pressure in the gas lines before the disaster that left one person dead was 12 times higher than normal. Fox News. Fair and balanced.
And now, the worst commercial ever.
As a real-life caterer, my recipe for success is a heaping helping of commercial auto and business insurance through Progressive. They helped whip up a customized insurance solution that keeps my business cooking.
That barrage of bad wordplay was most unpleasant. Whereas commercial auto and business insurance through Progressive is anything but. Visit ProgressiveCommercial.com to quote today. Insurance provided and serviced by Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Its affiliated and third-party insurers.
Doctor, award-winning chief medical correspondent, and Salon Pass user, Dr. Bob Arnott.
For pain relief, the best solution may surprise you. I found that Salon Pa's Lidocaine Plus works best for my pain. It's powerful, available without a prescription, and uses 2 anesthetics to numb nerves right where it hurts. It starts to work on contact, providing effective, lasting pain relief I can count on.
Salon Pass, in the silver box with the blue wave.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather with Dave Murray.
More hot and humid times across St. Louis on this Tuesday. Very little change in the pattern. Partly to mostly sunny skies. 92 for the high. Tonight mostly clear. Mainly in the 80s for any evening plans. The humidity certainly will get to you. 70 for the overnight low. Wednesday, warmest or hottest of the week. Partly to mostly sunny skies. Hot and humid. 95 for the high on Wednesday. Keep it kind of hot and humid on Thursday. This is FM News Talks 97.1 Chief Meteorologist Dave Dave Murray.
Stay in touch and up to date with the 97.1 newsletter delivered straight to your inbox. Become a 97.1 Insider and you can receive our weekly newsletter, local and national breaking news alerts, plus exclusive offers from 97.1 advertisers. Don't miss out. Sign up now at 971talk.com.
The Gateway Area Acura dealers are dealing during the model year-end sales event. 2019 Acura models have arrived, and 2018's must go. The time is now to steal a deal on the most awarded luxury vehicles on the road. ILX, TLX, RDX, and MDX. You want it? We got it. And the savings are huge, only for a limited time during the Gateway Area Acura dealers model year-end sales event. Spend less. Drive more at GatewayAreaAcuraDealers.com.
Listen to why Drew from Afton referred Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage to family members.
We first contacted Michael several years ago when we bought our house. Got a great rate, service was terrific and everything. And then just recently we refinanced. Michael was extremely knowledgeable